And this podcast is sponsored by Yak Attack, and that's yakattack.us. Yak Attack is the leader in the kayak fishing industry who specializes in kayak fishing rigging solutions. As kayak anglers themselves, they are tightly integrated into the sport of kayak fishing and acutely aware of what the sport needs. It all starts with the gear track and or the mighty mount. The gear track comes in all different sizes and colors, and the screwball that attaches to the gear track that attaches to your boat holds everything together that mounts to your boat. So any kind of idea you want to mount to your boat, Yak Attack manufactures them, and the variety of rod holders and camera mounts for your still cameras and your GoPros. The light poles with the day flags and everything folds into the flag. The fish finder mounts for the displays themselves, the batteries, and the transducers. The Black Pack crate system, an awesome crate system that even comes in a white version for when you're in the heat. And all this stuff is made in the USA. A few years ago, Yak Attack set the gold standard in kayak visibility with the VisiCarbon Pro. Fast forward today, it remains the most dependable light flag combo in the industry. The 48-inch deployed height gets the light and the flag up where it can be seen above the waves. And the 14-inch collapsed length allows it to be stowed away for easy use. The high visibility flag doubles as a pouch, making it easy to store. The expected lamp life of 10,000 plus hours of the ultra bright high efficiency LEDs, and at least 100 hours from the 3 AA batteries that are included. The carbon fiber mast is strong and lightweight, and the narrow profile offers low wind drag. The soft foam keeps it afloat when it goes in the water, as long as you know when it goes in the water, and most of it, and that also fits in most rod holders. Available in an array of mounting options that fits most boats and most popular mounts. Don't compromise on safety. Depend on what tens of thousands of paddlers trust. There is only one VisiCarbon Pro from Yak Attack, and that's yakattack.us. And there's also sponsored by my DVDs at kayakkevin.com. There's a three-part fishing series and a tour DVD. The first one is the Kayak Fishing Chesapeake Bay #1, and that is a full year of fishing. We filmed for a solid year and put that out on a DVD, and that it's got a lot of tips and stuff, but mostly it is just a lot of fish porn, a lot of music, and it's got a few tips in there that actually I don't cover in the other ones. #2, Kayak Fishing Chesapeake Bay #2 is the summertime, the winter, the warm water species. From the spring sight casting and from the spring the shoals, red drum at the shoals, all the way through to flounder, to the bridge, everything, all the species at the bridge, sheep's head, spadefish, and even some sight casting. So that's on #2, and #3 is just came out, and that is the wintertime species, the striper and the tautog. Which the striper and tautog is still we are in that season right now, so it's a great Christmas gift. And the 4th DVD, which actually came out #3, is the tour DVD. I did a 600-mile tour around the Chesapeake Bay. Took 6 weeks and filmed it, and that's a whole different style of DVD, kind of your Survivor Man style of filming. To show exactly how I tour, the whole concept of what I'm looking for when I'm touring, and it's a good tour. It was a fun one for me. So all 4 of these DVDs are available at kayakkevin.com. And hold on, we got Andrew coming here in a second. Rolling again.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, this is podcast number 39.
39, wow.
I say that every time because it's impressive every time. Like, we keep on going, and we still, like...
Well, for me, when it's 50, it's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, we haven't run out of things to talk about yet.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about it, I guess.
Yeah. The challenge you're going to be through the winter?
Well, I mean, not if we can get people like Beth and Alan here again.
That was funny.
We didn't talk about fishing at...
No, it was...
I mean, they talked about fishing a little. We sat back. I mean, I started side conversations a few times, but It was
with them-
pretty much
with them,
entertainment.
I saw
like,
them coming in. I was like, they have their own crew. All we have to do is just like when they slow down, just fucking keep it good. Just like keep it rolling. Just keep the ball rolling because they're gonna roll on their own. I saw that as a producer standpoint. I was like, just let them roll. Just keep them going.
I watched that one at work, and I just kept busting out laughing. So people were like, "What the hell are you watching?" Sorry, I'm working. I really am working.
All right, this is podcast number 39. It's December 10th, 2014, and we got Andrew Kumjian.
Anything close to that
Kumjian.
works for me.
Cool. Kumjian. Andrew Kumjian, and his website is andrewkfishing.com. And we got Lee at the Lee crib, at the Lee studio.
Here we are.
That's right.
We there's studio. What is it? What would it be? This is Studio 2.
This will be Studio A because this is like the main one.
No, this is Studio 2 though because Studio 1 didn't work out. We're gonna retry Studio 1 in a different manner.
Yeah.
No more parties.
No more parties.
No more parties.
We're partying.
Yeah, we were partying too hard at Studio 1. So Studio 1A is right here.
Yeah, but this is the A studio because this is one of the guests. My house is going to be the Studio B, which is going to be the
we're working on
Skype.
Yeah, we're trying to work on doing more Skype stuff. We're going to talk to more people. I mean,
Cool.
Yeah.
it's fun. We're not at 40 yet, are we?
Fuck no. We got 10 though, so. Got a new table because I'm taking the other one back to.
I wonder what the
Lions.
pirate had to say. I antagonized Pete here. We'll see if he says anything back. See if he's going to actually listen to the show.
I was driving over here and I was seeing all the comments. I'm like, oh god! I saw my brother's roommate post a picture of a yak. It's like,
Right.
What was that shit, man?
Yeah.
And Lee was saying the same thing when I posted. He was like, he posted something in it. There's 3 other posts or 4 other posts by the time his went up.
Right.
And it's because it's windy. You know, it's nobody's fishing for a week, and you know. I had
The
fun
rigs
this
are
week. Man.
tied.
I had fun this week. I like it. It was one of those weeks where I know I'm not going fishing. There's not even a chance of it with a wind, and I'm
Right.
not going to do shit. I went shooting, did yoga like all week long. Oh, like didn't get a whole lot of work done, but I had a lot of fun.
I couldn't do anything today because I did chest and triceps.
Oh god! Miserable.
Chest and triceps, and then a class yesterday, and I haven't been to the gym since. I went Thursday, and then we paddled all day Friday for no reason. Jeez, that sucked.
Yeah, you did fish.
So I went fishing.
Were you
Yeah,
out
well, of
Saturday
course.
with, Rob?
No. Rob went Saturday with Billy.
I worked Friday and Saturday, and the 2 days I worked
Well,
fishing.
you didn't miss much.
Still be on. Yeah, you're right, but I haven't been on
yeah.
the water since 2 weeks ago.
Rob posted a picture that morning as we're running out. We were fishing the Randolph-Macon tournament or whatever it was. I don't know, it was a real small tournament stuff, and we were going out there, and I was like, hey, are you seeing any bait? And it was crappy. We got one fish at just like 34 pounds. First 15 minutes. We're like, hell yeah, this is it. And that was it.
No, that's
Right.
All day long. I think we took third, but
Kevin did that for a season.
Nobody cares. Oh yeah.
I've done that this season.
Oh yeah.
I'm at one fish undersized.
Yeah.
Already.
I mean, no, his was 34 pounds.
No, mine's at 36 inches.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's my
You
big
got like
striper
a
of the year so
you got like
far.
a 12 pounder.
Hopefully this blow didn't push him out. I think we're.
No,
I was
they
watching
got-
attempts. I was watching attempts. I mean, you can't judge them right now for Kit the Peak because of
There's
the
too much wind and too much turbulence.
surface. It's real close to the surface, but yeah, it's dropped pretty good. But that's just wind. You gotta let the wind die out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we
It's
were
not. It really hasn't been that cold.
No.
It's gonna be cold tonight,
Yeah. No.
but it really hasn't been
Hasn't
that
frozen.
cold. No,
It hasn't frozen.
and it's not even getting high 30s that often up over the water.
Right.
So
That's what I'm
until
saying.
it does that, the water's not going to get into the low 40s and upper 30s. The fish are going to stay in the bay.
I hope so.
I hope they
really-
move.
I just-
They just need to move a couple miles, man. They're up there at 40, 42.
Right.
That's so far offshore. We can't
It's way
drift.
out
We
there.
can't drift from plantation to there, man. And
We
it'd be-
can if we had the incoming
Tide
tide and then
and
outgoing.
And we would need the wind to blow us out and
But
die in the
it's up there.
afternoon.
And it's
That
out
would be-
too.
Yeah,
It's
it gets way offshore.
It's like northwest. Keep going. Keep
Yeah.
fucking paddling northwest.
I got a lot of respect for you guys. Just with the whole. I mean, I'm lazy. I don't work out. I work too much. I build rods on the side and I fish. But like, I've got a kayak, and honestly, I haven't taken out in probably 2 years. Usually for me, it's like I go out inside Lynn Haven, go find a trough, and I fish for flounder, catch a couple flounder, and I go home. That's it. I'm happy.
Yeah.
But some of the shit
Everybody
that
loves
you,
a
especially
fly
you,
flounder.
we're paddling up and down the East Coast and out and back and forth. It's just you're nuts.
Well, the drift, that thing, what we do around Plantation right now, that's a strategy thing. That's a full
That's what Rob was explaining to me. I'm like, you guys are
full-blown
nuts
strategy.
paddling. He's like, oh, we
Yeah.
should ride
The
tide.
other day,
Otherwise,
this happened.
It'll suck.
This
It'll
happened.
suck.
This
It'll
happened
suck,
the other
you know.
day. So the tide chart doesn't necessarily follow. I was a little late, and the tide chart doesn't necessarily follow daylight savings time. But
There's also before fish weather changed, they used to have a current chart where it would show the current, and there's an eddy that wraps in that area. So there, you kind of
Right.
we've dealt with that on those really
Yeah.
hard blasting currents where there's a constant rip. That's the eddy line. It twists as it goes down there. Sometimes it'll feel like it's weirded out, but also wind drive will do it weird over there too.
so the wind was
Yeah.
supposed to die out, and so we were planning on taking, because the incoming current was so strong. We planned on taking the last 2 hours of that, fishing the change of the tide up around Cape Charles Plantation area, and bringing the current back down. Well, we got over there like 45 minutes late. Alex and I paddled out to the ships and realized the tide is dying out already. Like,
Right.
we're not going to make it up north.
At all.
So Jay is still driving over. So we call Jay and say, like, hey, sweet talk the lady at the desk. Tell her you're not going to park. Try and not pay. Tell her you're just going to pick a couple of guys up that we did pay to park.
Yep.
And we've decided to launch somewhere else. We're coming back here. You're
doing the drift.
yeah, we're going to drift. We're coming back.
Yeah.
The lady, he sweet talked the lady. The lady was fine. Let him come down there. He's picked us up. We go up to Plantation. The wind never died out. We
Right.
were drifting. Every time I pulled up Navionics, we were going over 2 knots. Sometimes we were going over 3 knots drifting.
Yeah.
Saturday we had the weirdest drifts. We'd like going straight, and then like we would turn this way, and then we were trying to correct the bobbers, and we turn this way, and a boat would come by, and we turn this way. It's just like
Was it like the little puffs of wind were
It was just-
doing
yeah,
that?
it
Or
was just,
that
you
eddy
know.
thing?
And the eddy currents
It was
too, the
bizarre.
way the bottom changes. If you're not doing those bottom changes, man, you expect it when it's calm because you can see them coming. But when you can't see them coming because it's not calm, the current starts to move your bobbers and stuff around as you're drifting and
Yeah.
change the boat. You just you don't expect it. I mean, when it's calm, we've seen the rips out there. You can see that's how we got so good at that and how we learned the bottom out there. And the other day we were fishing and we see boats out inside of us and around us, so we start drifting. And then I start to realize boats are inside of us and outside of us, and I pull up my Navionics and I'm like, we're in 70 feet of water. This is not good. This is not good. So we paddled off because the current was bringing us in.
yeah.
So we paddled offshore and rode it, from the change all the way in that change all the way into 18 and then straight to the ships.
That's cool. That's a good
Another
drift.
cool thing I've noticed, interestingly enough, is we catch a lot of fish when we're paddling around with our eels. These people that pull on these planer boards are just pulling eels around in their boats now.
There was a lot of people trolling.
That's what they're trolling
That's
eels.
what-
That's what I
that's
mean.
what
That's
he's
what I'm talking
talking
about. They got
about.
these
That's what he's
planer board things.
Yeah, it's like what?
We catch them
Oh, no.
trolling a lot.
So the
I
eels just
think. Well, I think for us,
Well, no,
Is that
no.
for
for some reason, I
Put
think
them on
it's
a
our.
sinker
It's,
and we splash different,
it's our
man. I'm
kayaks.
thinking.
oh yeah, well
I
that
think it's the little the splash, the rhythmic of splash, splash, boom, 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 and
The
then
eels
there's
aren't down.
Look up, and there's a small animal-looking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and there's an eel behind it.
like oh
Yeah, I mean, because we put our shit 15 feet back. I mean, it's,
oh that's it.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they're underwater, but they're only underwater a few feet. I mean,
Yeah.
we've caught more eels, even drifting, other than the ones at the ships. We've caught the ones at the ships mostly
Down low.
because we don't fish with 2 rods there.
and that one's
Right.
almost,
But
that
we-
was a high-rise technique.
Yeah,
Down bottom.
Yeah,
plate
yeah.
top. That's where we got that.
because we're sitting in an eddy. You can't, and
Okay.
we're around shit. We can't have the second rod out with a
Yeah,
free
sure,
line.
sure.
But whenever we're drifting, we catch more fish on a free line eel than anything. If you're drifting in your boat and you don't have an eel out without any bobber attached, just make yourself a good long cast, put it past your bobbers, put it on top of the T-top. You're going to catch more fish on that one than
The
anything
one
else.
I caught a month ago, it feels like at this point.
Yeah.
It was my free line. I was drifting like this, and I decided to turn, so it just went like this, and fish hit it. I mean, it was on top.
That's
I turned
crazy.
around, and it was rolling on top.
So you guys never use bobbers?
No.
Never. We'd only have 2 rods. The reason you use bobbers...
Yeah, that's true. too.
Separation.
The reason you use bobbers is for separation, and we only put 2 rods out. One of them is a free line. As it starts at the top and it drifts
down.
down and
Yeah.
picks back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How do you guys rig?
Carolina rigs.
Okay. How long of a leader do you use?
Long enough to get a good wrap. 18, 20 inches. Yeah, you want to just be able to...
The lake. I saw Kayak Fish Magazine had a... are you using the wrong net for a kayak? I was like, no net.
If you're using a net, you're using the wrong net.
Some of the clips
I got the
you
right
guys
net.
and Rob, it's funny just watching it all thrashing around. That's
And my buddy Rick published a picture that I love, and I'm going to give him some credit for in his Kayak Angler magazine here about how you can only
You got a
catch...
magazine?
No, but you can... I got the picture on my phone here about my man that caught that sheep's head.
Oh, right.
Well, let me get the picture up because I want... This is a direct quote.
What's so funny is, because Rick's the editor, the editor of Kayak Angler magazine now, and it's funny having him in that big position because we can give him shit because he's our best friends, So give him shit.
My man, I'm not. I got no problem with you, Phil. I got no problem with you, Phil. But I believe this is possible. He says, caught Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Caught this 24 at sheep's head while fishing off the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Couldn't have done it without my Hobie adventure. Handled the chop like a champ and let me stay close to the pilings in the strong current. You done good. What year was it?
That's right.
What year?
That's funny.
I've been catching those things out of various different kayaks for a long period of time.
Without a drive.
Do you guys ever get stuck in the leg by the dorsal fin?
Yeah.
You don't want to get stuck, man.
I was stuck.
There's
stuck
pictures of me like.
Yeah, I've been scraped.
Up, almost standing away from them.
I've been scraped. I've been stuck. The only one that made me nervous, I had hit with a spade fish. Anal spine. You know those things right at the anal fin?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
those
giant spines, and it hit me hard in the thigh because he came in flopping and hit me hard. Hit me so hard that it ringed up. And that's what made me nervous. I was like, okay, why did it do that? It was inside the thigh, kind of a soft part, meaty part, and it didn't, luckily it bled out. It didn't do anything, but that was the only one that actually...
That would make me nervous. I mean, I've stuck myself just with, catfish and stuff like that.
Oh, I was one of those Florida gaff top sailfish, catfish got me. I bled like squirting blood. And it hit me in the thumb, and it was squirting. It was like horror movie squirting, and then I was like, whoa. It burned.
Did you see? This is, look at the spikes on that bad bitch.
What is that?
That's a horned I don't know, something.
Shark.
It's a shark I caught in San Diego.
It's a West Coast.
Yeah, shout out to my buddy Tom out there who put me on all kinds of ridiculous species out there.
Rick's.
So that's like for around here it would be a dogfish, except...
Dude, that's like a spiny dog except they're at the tips.
And it looks like about 6 feet long and shit.
Yeah, well,
Rick's brother caught a sheep's head, the first sheep's head citation Rick's brother ever caught.
It looks like a nurse shark.
It's some sort of I don't remember what he called it, but it was something bizarre. That's one thing. I was going to San Diego for work, and I talked to my buddy on Facebook. I was like, "Hey man, I'm coming out there. What should I bring?" Blah blah. He's like, "Oh, surf fishing. Me." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I packed 2 heavers on the airplane with me, and we went. And the thing about out there is, I'm talking to him, and I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No. Well, it's with fish spikes.
That's right. Here we typically 30 size reel when we're on the beach. We pack it full of 17-pound mono or 20-pound mono, depending on what you like it, because you're trying to cast as far as you possibly can.
I use 20s because I can't cast that far.
Yeah,
and I don't want anything to do with the Garbo sharks. If they can take it off the reel, they can have it. Whatever.
I love sharks. So like here, you cast 100 yards, on a good day, and you're fishing in 6 feet of water because the beach replenishment and everything else.
It's stupid.
So I'm talking to my buddy. I'm like, what kind of setups you use? He's like, we use 40s and 50s. You've got 100 yards of 65-pound braid, and then you fill the rest of it up with 40-pound mono. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's going to kill your cast. And I'm like, what kind of rigs do you use? We're using little cannonball and fish finder rigs. Real short leaders, so you can. He's like, swivel with 3 feet of mono with this. I'm like, I gotta see this. So we go out there, and he gives me all these rigs and stuff, and literally you're casting maybe 40, 50 yards.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, how deep is it? He's like, it's 25 feet deep right there. I'm like, oh.
Dude, Jim Salmons came out here. And this is Jim Salmons. We go to the concrete ships.
West Coast, right?
West Coast. We go to the concrete ships.
Yeah, 100, 200 yards off.
Yeah, 200 yards off the beach, whatever it is. We say, all right, drop it to the bottom and reel it up a couple of cranks and let it sit. He literally puts the reel in free spool, goes and picks up his coffee cup, and the reel just backlashes. He's like, what? How deep is it here?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, dude, it's like 25 feet. He's like, what? This is like 200 feet.
Oh yeah. And, well, the funny thing is, I really wanted to catch a leopard shark because they're cool looking.
Don't they have a season for that though, right?
They get them year round, but there's one time of the year.
I've seen a bunch of pictures recently for some reason.
It might be now. I don't know. I always miss the seasons wherever I go. But we wanted to fish the beach, and it was too rough. And out there, because it's so deep and then it gets shallow real quick, they have like 10-foot swells of shore breaks. So like, you don't go anywhere near the beach. He's like, when you're landing fish, sometimes you gotta worry about these things crashing. And I'm like, no, that's not for me. So he's like, we're gonna fish the bay. I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking Chicks Beach with the heaver, blah blah blah. And we're fishing. We fish inside Mission Bay, and it's just a little, inlet. It looks like Lynn Haven.
Yeah.
A little bit of current, but it's like 25 foot in the middle.
Yeah.
So he's like, you don't have to cast far. We're catching, big stingrays and everything else. He's like, oh yeah. And the cool thing about there, you don't know what you're going to catch.
Yeah.
Same bait
There's
I
no
caught.
specified.
No, it's. He's like, next time bring a plugging rod and these, little plugs. You can catch one of like 20 different species of bass that they have there.
Right, yeah.
The
Actual rockfish.
Yeah.
Actual rockfish.
Calico bass, kelp bass, sand perch, whatever
Those
they
are
call them.
those are like
Rockfish
literally
type
in the
things,
rockfish
yeah.
family.
Oh,
and
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
like not stripers.
It's cool though. They have this. They have a black sea bass there that is, I guess, very similar to our red drum.
Yeah.
They get like 300 pounds and they catch them off the beach. He's like, normally,
But the white bass.
They have
the
also-
white bass.
they also-
That's
White
what looks like
sea
a great
bass.
trout.
that's the Carvina.
Their
Corvina,
black sea
whatever.
bass are like
Dude, they look like sea bass, but they're like 200 pounds.
No, but they're not drum looking. They look more like sea bass.
Yeah, they look exactly like a sea
Okay,
bass,
okay,
but they're
right,
like this
yeah.
big. And he's like, if you hook one of those, because I was asking him like, why the braid and why the 40 pounds? Like, oh, in case you hook a great white or a black. I'm like, what the hell's a black? And he sends me a picture. It's like him on the beach next to this thing, and I'm like, oh my god. He's like, most time you don't get these in. He's like, because they run.
Right.
And you have reef, and you have the kelp out there, which is like 1,000-foot
Yeah.
strands you got to worry about and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Bit.
But
I guess the braid cuts through that. I guess is the idea.
that's the heavy braid will sometimes. But what you're talking about your buddy about how shallow it is, we took his boat out on a Sunday, and we're literally maybe a half mile off the beach, and it's like 300 feet deep.
Yeah.
Right.
We're
Yeah,
pulling
that's-
little calico bass and stuff, and the eyes are bulging out, the tongue's sticking out. I'm like, he's not going to live, is he? He's like, nope, throw him in the cooler. Like, it's crazy. And
Delicious.
The water,
and they look like
they're-
they would taste
Yeah.
good. I
Oh,
mean,
they
look like
yeah.
little perfect like white meat nuggets like our sea bass or scorpion
They're-
fit.
they're
You know
so
what I mean?
good. The vermilion snapper is good.
Anything that comes from 300 feet deep on the bottom is
And a structure.
Oh, yeah.
is delicious.
The thing I thought was the coolest about being on the boat, we tried for yellowtail. We got one in the afternoon, but it was tough. We were fishing the kelp beds, which
Did
is
you get a sheep's head?
no.
California sheep's
I
head.
wish.
Oh my
Black
god,
and-
dude!
black and orange, right?
Wrong
Those
season.
things-
I know.
yeah.
He showed me a picture later. I was like, oh my god, I want one of those.
Yeah,
See
dude,
kayaks with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been, this guy charters out there. He's been like yellowtail fishing is a little sketchy right now, but man, we are whaling these sheep's head. Yeah,
It's ridiculous. And like, we're literally sight fishing these kelp beds. Like, we're at 80 feet of water. These things grow up from the bottom. So like, I'm standing in the front of his little skiff, and I'm looking down. You can see literally 30 feet down.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was-
this is phenomenal. Little anchovies and mackerels.
They give you vertigo.
Not really.
When I was in the Keys, I paddled over a channel that you could see, like, it
Oh.
seemed like forever. And maybe whoa.
Yeah,
And
oh,
maybe,
yeah, it's-
it has that
it's intense,
whoa.
'cause
Because
it's
we're
intense.
not used to that. Right
Oh yeah,
here.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can see the bottom. It's 3 feet deep.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
we were looking for calico bass, and that day, for some reason, the calico bass weren't. They weren't around. But like, I'm using a little swim bait because I didn't bring any plugs because I didn't think I will do that. A big mistake. Next time, I'm gonna have a whole suitcase full of stuff.
So yeah, not swim bait is in just so the
It's basically a
the shad with the hook.
Exactly,
the weight,
that's all it was.
Right. The swim shad type of swim bait.
You toss it out and you let it sink down, and you're working it up next to this, this strand of kelp that's going up. And you see these little brown things that come out, hit it, go back in. Like, what the hell is that? Real somewhere, boom. They're all little calico bass. But it was neat because like 20 feet down, I'm like sight casting. Like, oh, there's one. Oh,
And
he's
then
gone.
darting at it. Bang.
Like, I didn't find one big enough to catch, but it was so cool. It was just the water was so clear.
It's that clear.
We were catching mackerel. I think they're mackerel. They call it. It's a Spanish mackerel, but it looks like our Boston mackerel.
Right.
That's the ones you get at the sushi restaurant.
Yes.
They're
So They're tasty too, but we were using them for bait for yellowtail. And you could see him swim. Oh, mackerel! Get the little rod. He's got this little tiny 6-foot ultralight freshwater rod with this little itty bitty spinner on it. And I'm like, hell yeah, this is gonna be fun. Toss it out there real, and like dunk. It's like, zzz, like oh shit. It was like pulling me around and everything. It was a decent sized mackerel, and we kept catching them. And we were using a sabiki rig, and all of a sudden they disappeared. I'm like, where'd they go? And I'm like, is there a shark? I'm like, give me a hook and a rock. And I'm gonna rig up, and I'm looking, all of a sudden this thing comes from the deep, and it's just like 400-pound sea lion.
Oh!
And I was like, oh shit! And look, where's my GoPro? And then he disappeared before I could pull it out. But those things are a nuisance out there. Like people.
Yeah.
Well, that's what salmon's. That was his only time he ever been flipped out of his boat when he had somebody grabbed his stringer and he yanked him out. And that was
My buddy was telling me that.
Right. Sea lions are
allow them
douchebags.
And I apologize if anybody from PETA is watching this, but they're a nuisance out there. They have apparently a law that they allow people to, if they use non-toxic paintballs, you can shoot them.
Just to get them off of you.
I guess. I'm like, what? Like, that is ridiculous. But these things, you can see the party boats go out there.
They should use more than lethal shotgun shells.
Bean diagrams,
I
whatever.
can understand that. It
But
it would scoot them away. It's not going to hurt them that bad.
Yeah, they're a nuisance, though. You see like one of the party boats, the head boats, whatever you want to call it. As they drift by, all you see is seals and sea lions just
going at it.
and the guys are throwing bait out, and somebody hooks up the fish and they're crank as fast as you can, and boom, it gets hit and gone. And we had a yellowtail on, and it got eaten.
Damn.
He's like, Tom was fighting it, and it's just all of a sudden it's like, whoop, he's like shit, boom, it came off, and the thing was bitten. I'm like, damn, like what? It was cool though. It was I want to go back, but I hate traveling. My job sends me there, but if I go back, I'm gonna have a whole suitcase full of shit.
Where else have you gone surf fishing?
Pretty much up and down the East Coast. Cali's the first place I went. I've been fishing out there before. I went fishing, not surf fishing, but fly fishing up in Kayak, Alaska, which was.
Speaking of that, we need
phenomenal.
to get Kyle in here. We haven't got Kyle in here yet, man.
No shit. No shit. We haven't need to get him in here because he went up there all summer.
Yeah,
I totally forgot.
Alaska?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up there. I totally forgot.
Aside from the 6 million hour flight there, and I hate flying because I'm 6'3" and I don't get comfortable. That is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my entire life.
Another reason he can cast 100 yards.
Right.
Or it makes it a little easier if you're taller and don't have great technique. He could probably cast really far being that tall. I mean, Bill Kennedy can throw the shit has amazing technique.
He's nasty. There's a bunch of those guys.
Slack used to be able to really send it.
Talking about the casting aspect of it, because it's almost like the sport of surf casting is not only but it becomes part of a sub sport of the sport itself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's people.
Yeah.
There's the rods and reels are not fishing rods and reels.
No, there's tournaments. There's tournaments for it. I've seen on Facebook.
There's just one recently. Angel went down there.
South Carolina.
Yeah, down South Carolina.
Right. Yeah. Just saw it. Maybe it was Angel's post that I saw.
Angel is.
He did
awesome.
really well. He's
a Texas tornado.
Yeah. It's really bizarre because you have you've thrown long rods before, so you've got the modified pendulum, and I do a lot of times an off the ground cast because I can load it better.
Now, if this is techniques of think about it. I'll break it down for anybody who hasn't watched who doesn't know surf casting.
You can't throw it this far. You have to use the rod.
Right.
Oh,
it's what they call loading up the rod. It's the pendulum. You have an 8 ounce, so you get a fairly heavy. You got a 12-foot rod.
And 10 to
12 foot rod. So you swing it, so your weight comes back, and it bows up your rod backwards, basically.
Yeah.
And you use that force, that energy that's built up into it, and shoot it. And so you're not really using a lot of muscle. You're mainly using a lot of muscle to get this momentum going, to use that energy to throw it out.
If you're smarter, more muscle is on the butt end of the rod.
Right.
You tear your shoulder apart trying to throw it overhand.
It's amazing technique, and
you come underneath the bottom just as much force as you go over the top.
It's
crazy. All about. Well, first off, you've got to get the rod loaded up. Angle is really important. You can throw fly. You can throw pop flies. You can throw line drives. I've seen people literally throw worm burners. I mean, I've seen them skip off. I've seen them skip off of waves. They throw them so hard, like flat at the. You know what I mean? It's all about angle.
Yeah,
and it's
there's so much technique to it, but
it's incredible technique,
yeah.
and it's
the big thing for me is obviously I fish the beach a lot, and that's my main thing. I've been doing it for a good number of years.
But you're not like I am about kayak fishing. You'll get on a boat and shit.
Oh yeah, I'll get on a boat, absolutely.
The guys you're talking about literally are the ones that. The only reason I ever caught anything off Sandbridge Pier the first season I went there, they taught me the first day I showed up there. I literally had spot bought from the grocery store, which I mean they were super fresh at that time. You know, it was spot season. It was spot season.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I show up there, I didn't have any brakes in the reel. I throw the thing at black backlashes, and the first thing they do are like, and first off, they don't want everybody tangling their lines up. So they're
like, here, man.
if you're respectful to them, but I mean, literally, the reason I only caught fish is because the only reason I caught fish is the best casters around here literally taught me everything I know right there on the end of the pier.
Oh, yeah.
That season.
I saw Angel cast on Ocean View at one time.
Well, there's a difference between his fishing cast and his tournament cast.
Right.
And to go back to what you said about going on a boat, I will go on a boat, but I'd much rather fish the beach.
Yeah.
It just there's something about it. But like, I'm on.
You would. If we got you, what we should have gave you a long rod while you were camping last year at your spot. And just let you fight as many dog sharks until you got a drum right there off the beach. I should. And if it's that way this year, just give you one of mine. When you go over there and camp, you could just catch you one off the long rod while you're sitting there.
And I want to talk about that off camera. Anyway, I'm on the Carolina Cast Pro staff with Tommy Farmer, and I've known him for a good number of years, and he got me
the Inferno.
This guy, he's great. He's a big guy, and when he casts, like when they do the tournament cast, especially like Angel, I did a tournament with them. I guess it was 2 years ago now, and those guys are hardcore now. They come down with briefcases full of all these tweaked out reels where you pop them and set it down. You can go take a leak, take a dump, come back, and the thing's still spinning. They're tweaked that much, and I was doing like an off the ground cast. The first day I kept just dropping it back and going, and like the first 3 casts I was like, man, I put too much into it, my shoulder's killing me. I'm not gonna be able to do anything. Tommy Farmer's like, do it off the ground, and he worked with me.
Off the ground, is the weights on the ground?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You set it
So
on
that's
Set it all the way back and arms out.
Yeah. But it's also like
ground.
it's not. Yeah, but it's not immediately dead off. It's a little bit of an angle behind where the rod is. And as soon as you lift up, I mean, it starts to
load.
It's
right
all
there.
about. It's all
And
about
that's less
angle
on your shoulder, less pressure on your shoulder.
Yeah, because
I'm not when I was
circling around.
Is that pendulum point the part that hurts your shoulder more than the actual throw?
No, what was hurting my shoulder is I was just dropping back and I was bringing my hands straight across my body. So like I kept my arms in and just this motion.
Yeah.
With
His
the
whole
push,
cast was muscle.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm skinny to begin with, so it was killing my shoulders. Tom was like, do it off the ground, put your arms out. So I started back. And I kept working my way around, and the second day the first day, with one of my surf rods I fished with and one of my reels that I fished with, I topped out at 460 feet. And then the next day he's like, I'm going to give you a reel.
20 yards?
I don't know, I can't do
somewhere
math.
in that range.
Angel threw 800 feet the other day.
811, I thought it was.
Okay, that's what, 300 feet?
Well,
That's almost 30 football fields.
No, it's retarded. And the next day he gave me one of his tricked out reels. My first cast I broke 500 feet. I ended up topping out at 578
Also,
feet.
that you're
My
thinking
first
he's
time.
coming straight over the top like this too.
No,
if you set on the bottom,
yeah.
it's back. You're still.
Yeah,
I was
understand that.
Yeah.
doing it off the ground. The Angel, and I don't know if he still has
it's too
his
long
cast.
to do.
Right,
Yeah,
these guys they're standing backwards, and they have this. They bring this thing around so like the weight spins around, and then they turn, and it's if you want to see something really entertaining,
Fucking Google
Tommy Farmer and watch some of these casts, and these things are going 700-800 feet, and it's
And
phenomenal.
the real cool part is they slow-mo it. And the slow-mo is where you can see the actual energy building in
it's
those rods. And where
you
they
don't
break it down that way. And that's
And these are all conventionals. Have you seen the super far spinning reel cast? The big figure eights in the air, and they just come up.
Sometimes
it's just crazy.
That's some of the stuff gets ridiculous. Off the beach. The problem I have is if I drop it way back behind me, and I do like I was doing the tournament with 8 ounces in bait. When I get to it right about here, I can't hold it with my thumb.
Finger.
No.
So
man.
I start sliding because I can't. I've got too much momentum, and that weight is forcing its way out. So,
Yeah.
I talked to Tommy about that. He's like, you're putting too much power into it. He's like, start off slow, and end strong, like you do, like you race driving in a car. Or whatever,
You want the very end of that power to be when you release the reel. You don't want to have exerted. You don't want to have been it coming back down like a rubber band.
Yeah, so like I started doing that. So like I start off and finish it and stuff, and just if I hit it right on a good day, it goes. It's just like, damn, look at that. It's impressive.
I do a lot of thumb slips.
He threw out a jig.
Those
a
guys
metal
are-
jig,
yeah, those
right?
guys
So it
are-
had weight to it. And it
Those guys are
just
nuts.
disappeared. That was the most impressive part.
yeah.
That it disappeared in the air. You can't even see it in the air anymore, and the splash was hard to find.
Oh yeah, it's
And when you do finally kind of get an idea, okay, it's going to be in this area, and you kind of see it, it's amazing. It's amazing. It really disappears.
Yeah, the only reason I can fish with Rick in the fall is because I live on the beach here and I can practice with him. Otherwise, I'd just be out there tearing reels apart the whole time. I'm terrible. I mean, I got thumb slip. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't do it enough.
Yeah.
I love to catch drum. The only thing I surf fish for is drum, but I love it.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Love it.
I'd rather catch a drum off the beach than I would a boat.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
there's something about it.
I like 'em I like it out of the kayak more, but the beach is the next.
I mean, it's the same way. It's, you guys are mainly casting for them, right? You guys seen this?
Oh, well, we bait for them also, but yes, jigging or casting or, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's artificial bait, it's, artificial first choice, but if,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but always have a
No
bait
matter
too.
what. I've only done one big drum on an artificial, and that was 2012. That was an epic year. I caught 10 off the beach. I had buddies that had almost 20 off the beach. It was just retarded.
Is this the spring or?
This was fall. This
fall,
was the fall
spring,
run.
Sandbridge.
Me and Alex, my best friend Alex Field, we walked down a Falls Cape looking for better structure because with the way Sandbridge works, the beach replenishment, the way Mother Nature works over the course of a couple years, all that sand gets pushed down. So like Back Bay, in the southern part of Sandbridge, it's flat. There's no structure. So we walked way down, couldn't find anything, and on the way back we're walking, and we see this one little area where there's like. There's a little bit change in the water, like maybe a little rip. Like, let's see if there's any pups here. So he throws a little 5-inch red fin out. Find a little bucktail, 1 ounce bucktail that a couple years ago we started making our own bucktails. It's cheaper and it's fun. I like it. 1 ounce bucktail, put it on there. Couple casts, nothing. He's like, all right, I'm over it. I was all right. Let me one more cast. Toss out there, close the bail, crank, bumped it one time, and got freight trained. Oh shit! 50-inch red drum.
That's right.
On artificial.
Just on a bucktail.
On way undersized shit.
Yeah,
Right?
people, I was using
little reds.
I was using one of my 11 footer because I didn't bring any small rods, but still, it was just like, what the hell? I had all kinds of people like, what the hell? Where are you? F you! I can't believe that. Blah blah blah. But it's fun. There's something about the beach.
And, well, not only the beach, but you it's like surf fishing. It's kind of a general term for just shore fishermen.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah. Because it's.
I mean, there's waders. I mean, marsh fishing, all that.
Oh, yeah.
Fishing by foot.
Lately he's been fishing. I mean, I guess
Elizabeth River.
somewhere in the Elizabeth River.
Right, 'cause that's
nobody's
right.
gonna know where.
Yeah,
but-
right, right.
Super duper. Yeah. So Monday night, me and Alex fished. Obviously, nobody else was out because it was windy and raining and the weather was just really crappy. I lost another big trout. I've lost probably 3 dozen big trout this year. I just can't seem to. Well, I got that 129, but. We caught a couple. The water was.
I keep losing big trout. I caught 29 inch. I keep losing big trout.
Well, that's my biggest to date. It was fat. It was really fat. It was 9 pounds on my bogle grip. I stuck a tag in his ass.
Those are weird 10-pounders. I mean, well, Zach had a giant one, right? It just looked 10 pounds, right?
Oh yeah. This
9
one.
something. I mean, it was just under. It's
Mine
like
was.
this.
I didn't realize mine was that fat until someone made a comment on the post. Like, dude, it looks like a football. I went back and I'm like, damn, you're right. That thing should have been 35 inches. But I stuck a tag in, threw him back in the water.
Yeah.
Of course, all my coworkers like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, yeah.
Feed the neighborhood.
Specs.
Well,
Somebody wants to know about rod building and guides or something.
Who?
Jeff Gregory. AT tidal wave guides or Fuji K-frames for a light spinning rod.
Getting
What
all
else?
super nerdy. Rod
Yeah.
Jeff's a
I
rod.
used to use alkanite.
So the
Do
Fuji.
they still make that?
Yeah, the Fuji K-frame it comes in an alkanite, also comes in titanium. So they're lighter than the American tackle tidalways. So if you're gonna do a trout rod, I would either use those or the micros. I mean, smaller.
Micros never work.
Are there
Second
super light?
question: best speckled trout blank. Something between 7.5 foot, 8 foot long, if you're fishing off the beach, and something super light.
That actual sand surf trout fishing, of course, it's probably done in Virginia for now, but that's can be really fun. I've seen some guys down in Sandbridge catch some really nice trout, not off the pier, but like
Off the
in the
beach.
rips. Actually, I mean, there's a rip at the end of the surfing zone at Sandbridge seems to have a rip normally.
There's usually in the springtime and in the fall, there's a time period where a bulk of them that don't go into the river actually go south, and you can catch them off the beach.
I can't imagine like. It's hard enough to land a trout with its paper mouth.
Yeah.
And now,
So I lose
With the surf,
you've got to catch it
in beach surf. Yeah.
beach surf.
Yes.
Like, that's
I didn't
crazy.
think about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
didn't
I've
think about
lost
that.
drum on the hook, and drum are like, they almost have leather mouths.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Man,
Well, it's,
you know,
almost hooked, the hooks
And I've
almost hooked
lost
into
them
it.
after I've seen them in the surf.
oh yeah.
And you can catch speckled trout in the surf. I mean, of course, they fill their faces full of mirror lure in their face and their gill plate, whatever you can get, or guide secrets. Is that what you guys use? What guide secret lures, right?
A lot of the times, yes.
What are those?
Guide secrets. It's just.
Can you buy them publicly? Are they like a public
Oh, yeah,
lure company?
absolutely.
So I mean, you use them all the time. They're great.
I
are they?
love them. I meant to bring a couple, but I left my house. I'm driving my car, so I don't have my truck with me. It's a company based out of, I guess, Staten Island now. Frank just moved the company up. They're basically plugs. They have a bunch of different types of plugs. The two that we use mainly down here.
By plugs, you mean just hard plastics,
Yeah,
whether
hard plastics, right.
top water or diving, whatever. But I mean,
The two baits that I like, they've got one called a Mucho Minnow. They've got another one that was called the Skinny Mini, but they're changing the name of it. The Mucho Minnow looks just like a mag minnow. It's cheaper.
So what you were showing me?
no, I showed you pictures of
Because that looks like
was it
Mac
Jason
Minnow.
Lee? Who was the Audi R8 guy?
But these are like which ones you use here? Like the shallow runner, the.
Basically, the Mucho Minnow, the Skinny Mini.
These are lipped.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
are lip baits. The Mucho Minnow floats. The Skinny Mini slowly sinks, which I like. Even from a boat, you toss out, you let it sink for 5 seconds, and you start reeling it in.
Oh,
it's
Josh Lee.
It's already down in the water column.
These things, Josh Lee, the Merv Rubiano, he's even got the Nemo special right here.
That's funny.
These things are like $90. Some of them are.
Yeah, it's probably
I guess.
something for the Caribbean or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Josh Lee, he has a sweet Audi R8. He's an interior designer or something. I don't know.
Must be
Anyway,
nice.
that's what he was asking me about. I showed him them earlier.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
But they make they're real big up north. They make the big pencil poppers, the big scoop mouth poppers.
Striper.
And bluefish. They catch the fuck out of bluefish.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But we use them for trout. And there's been
They
nights.
catching big stripers only they use them for trout.
And well, we do too. Like when we plug the islands.
That's what I mean.
That's all we use. They have a real big version that I want to give. I want to give one to Rob for the springtime striper when he's seen him schooled up.
We've caught them. Oh my god, dude! The top water bite is insane, man.
I've
I literally
talked to him about
went the first time I saw him that thick. I had caught him before. The first time I saw that thick, I just looked at Kevin and was like, don't cast into that, it's stingrays. Like their fins are just sticking out. I'm like, that's stingrays.
Yeah, I was yelling at him, no, it's striper cast. I was
I
like,
would've been like,
no.
"Oh, fuck you."
He was like, no, it's not.
This is stingrays.
Yeah, we were fighting about it.
Those are stingrays, man. I'm not fucking with that. Mike throws his topwater popper, pops it once and it just gets exploded on. I'm like, okay.
That's right.
Then they start swimming underneath you. You're like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Grab one. But you can get them. The Rod Father in Hampton
Oh, they're
sells
so
them.
fast. I mean, yeah, you would think you'd be able to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you
I
can
know.
No, okay.
But as far as Guide Seeker goes, Rod Fowler in Hampton sells them. Last time I was in there, he's getting low. He was selling.
Does he do modifications, repairs, and all that stuff?
Everything,
too?
yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. He's got really cool stuff.
Well, Kevin was my rod guy just because I was working at a tackle shop,
Right.
and he did he would cut the butts.
We got a rod guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me later.
Yeah. I do simple stuff like
He cuts the buttons of his rods off and just.
And I suggest that to
Caps
kayakers.
man.
That's what I mean. I put on the DVDs.
You don't have to look for so much of a specific rod.
You get a boat
It
rod.
really is not hard to cut the end of a fishing rod
Yeah.
off.
I just like
mean,
it to be glued on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know that's easy stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if if the rod filer is too far to go, or you don't have.
No, he works. He works.
Oh no, yeah, that's true.
Oh,
too.
where's
But
the new location? Because I go to Reef Dynamics, so
Which is right next door, right?
was right
So-
next door to the old one.
The issue with that place was the parking.
Yeah, it's
Obviously.
terrible.
The biggest issue was Sunday
dude.
because of
Oh
the
my
church
god,
next door.
I literally rolled up there one day. It was the most amazing shit in the world. So Chris, the owner of Reef Dynamics, is outside, and this lady, he's parked his car behind this lady's car because she won't move it, and she's like, her excuse for parking underneath of the sign that says Reef Dynamics parking only is, I was late for church and the Lord told me it would be all right.
Yes.
He was like,
Sunday.
he lost his fucking mind, dude. I mean, you literally cannot look somebody in the face and be serious about a comment like that. The Lord told me it would be okay to park here when you say this is.
Private parking. It's his parking.
I've got stories.
Yeah.
I've got stories about that place. We don't need to get into all too on the live broadcast.
And I mean, I'm sure that like I don't know if you ever had problems with
Yes.
Chris next door.
No, not him.
Chris
not
is
him.
awesome. That's it. The only problem you would ever have, Chris, would be maybe the occasional loud noise, but we'll get into that off the air too.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, they're on Armistead Avenue right now, right off 64. I think it's 720. The Facebook page, it's facebook.com/rodfilerva. Has a new address and everything. They got a lot of custom built rods.
I've got a 1509 from there. I don't know if you built it. Somebody built it there.
It might have been. I don't know. It depends. I built a few rods
I like
for
it.
him. Percy builds a few rods for him. Ronnie builds a few rods for him. I like to build more, but my job kills me. But if they don't have what you're looking for as far as the plugs go, guidesecret.com, the full assembly on there. They've got everything, and they're good. They're priced competitively with everything else.
I see these other. I mean, I'm not competing with them. I see like tactical anglers. Do you know anything about that stuff? Have you ever tried that stuff? Or is there like a direct competition with? Because I mean, these are from Florida, I guess. So, right?
Yeah, I think so. They make a really good darter. They make some cool top waters. I personally haven't fished them. Alex has a couple of the darters. They look really cool.
I've seen a couple of the lures. They do look cool. They look kind of old school with the gill cuts.
Yes.
I think that looks cool with the gill cuts. I don't know if the fish give a damn, but I think it looks
I don't
cool.
know. The big thing around here is like we don't have a really good area for that kind of those kind of plugs. You know, the mucho minnows and the skinny minis and you know the lip baits and stuff. They work around.
I'm seeing Mike Bass Knight and his girlfriend Lydia catch the tarpon and the snook and the drum down there on them.
That rip is one of the best on the East Coast that they're fishing. It's like 3 miles long, and and those baits are designed. They have a slow wobble. You throw it out in current, let it drift. It just does this, and the fish are just like you know.
That's what they want in the current sometimes.
But if you,
I mean, that's what they want. Yeah.
If we had good structure here, like I fished up in Montauk. I fished a bunch of places in Jersey on LBI.
Where beaches change and there's rocks.
That place it's a whole nother game.
Yeah.
It's like if it was like that down here, it'd be retarded. Like, but.
Can you imagine the drum fishery if we had rock shores?
Oh my god, it'd be retarded.
Like real eddies and
it's
breaks. Oh my
phenomenal up there. I mean, like LBI has jetties that go out and just the natural current
Beach
stuff.
Island.
Yeah, they create these giant. I'm gonna get my ass kicked for telling these things, but they create these giant pockets by these jetties that are like 20 yards off the beach, but they're like 10 feet deep, and there's monster flounder in them and everything else. You know,
sure.
Oh yeah, you walk out and boom.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
stupid, but it's a whole nother game up there. Like, I went to Montauk. I went up to visit my grandmother. She lives on the North Fork of
Well,
Alabama.
it's huge up there.
Have you done any black fishing up there? Like, have you done tautog fishing from the? They use like heavers to tautog
jetties.
fish from the jetties.
Right. It's
They no casting, then straight drops. Like
You have to. 'Cause the rocks are huge.
awesomeness.
But, they have Montauk it's one of the striper. One of the best striper places, but like up there
For surf fishing or for like in general anything.
They call it surf casting, but basically you're up there plugging with 10-foot rods, big poppers, and everything else. I went up there, I fished it for almost 12 hours because that's the only window I had,
69s and shit.
and that was like the worst day they had 2 years ago, and I didn't see one fish call, and it was horrible. Everybody talked to me said they hadn't seen anyway, but it's legit up there. Like these guys are they're in wetsuits, they're in the waders, the dry tops, they got the plug bag, and me and Alex roll up at a spot, and we've got the belts on, we've got a dry top and a plug bag. People are like, look at these freaking idiots, but everyth's organized. That's just up there. They all have it. These guys are walking around with $3,000 worth of shit on them.
Yeah.
Just to catch. But there's everybody up there is a pro.
Well, that's what it's a life.
It's-
Yeah,
Oh,
my
it's
girlfriend's
exactly-
dad is that way. My girlfriend's dad is like
exactly like
a
that.
hardcore trout fisherman in upstate New York.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he is literally, you go downstairs, man. There's something on the fly bench all the time. There's flies
Yep.
all over the place. Like trash, the trash can is full of ones that look perfectly fine to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it just like
That's right. It is.
he's just a hardcore. I mean, I can't imagine what he looks. I've seen pictures of him fishing. I can't imagine what he's like. I mean, he's probably when I can't hook togs and they're biting. That's probably like the look on my face of like concentration.
Yeah.
That's probably the look that he has like fly fishing. I mean, it just seems that way. Like he's like that into it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, so I can imagine how good because I've never seen the surf fishing guys, but
It's
seeing him, it's like
a whole
crazy.
What it is, it's a lifestyle up there.
Yeah,
And-
It's a whole culture.
Well, guys come down, when I was working at the tackle shop, guys were coming down here and asking about surf fishing. I was like, well, it's not, if they come from up north, I kind of understood where they're coming
Right.
from. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not really like it is up
What's
there.
It's a
whole
whole other culture. It's
Well, it's because you have such a good fishery.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
right. So just like how kayak fishing is exploded around here
Yeah.
because we have a good fishery within our range, that has all those fish will come to those spots they can get from a surf.
Sure.
From the shoreline, so that's why I mean it's the fishery really grew that culture up, and it is a culture. I mean that's why aqua skins. Right?
Yes.
They sponsored us for a long time, and we're trying to get their stuff down here, but it wasn't as big as
Yeah.
it was up there.
That's what I was
And
getting
it's
ready to say
huge.
is
they are a huge company up there, but it's
people
regional.
in this
Yeah.
area, because it's I don't want to say not as serious, but like up there, these guys have no problem paying $800 for a custom rod to throw plugs with. They've got the
Cocatat waders, the $500 Cocatat waders, the
the
all this
$1,000
stuff.
Van Stalls and Z Basses, and I have a Van Stall, and I love it, and I know why now. But you see these guys out there, and they've got $800 CTSs, but they're swimming out the rocks, they're standing on rocks, and waves are crashing on them, and they're just like, oh, keep fishing,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen down here.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the plugs. I went to. I don't remember the guy's shop name, but it's right in Montauk, and it's like the best place to go. And they've got a wall full of all these giant wooden plugs and plastic plugs. I spent $100 on 4 freaking lures because that's what they used. I was like, I've got 4 lures I will never throw down here because we don't have anything remotely close to being able to. It's
musky lures.
yeah,
Look like musky lures.
pretty much. I mean, these are just giant bottle darters and just stuff that up there in the current and the right rip and stuff. They
And they're eating those.
Well, yeah,
they're
around
eating those
here-
mackerel that are round shaped, like those.
I mean, really, around here, you would do that on the islands, right?
We don't even throw big plugs.
And it's
like
not
that.
even that
Little
big.
ones,
That's
the-
basically, well, not even that big, but that's
Imagine
basically.
maybe at dark. Maybe next fall we need to stay out at the first island until dark and throw top water plugs at the rocks
Well,
Why not?
I used to do it.
and
well,
see if we can catch.
the
I'm not
larger
talking about
ones.
catching stripers. I'm talking about catching those big reds.
Yeah,
that we're catching
I
at
was thinking
20
that
feet
too.
deep
Oh yeah.
I was
on
thinking that
top
too.
water. As soon as the sun's coming down around that
I was
island,
thinking
just
they would come up
just
and
throw a
get close to the rocks, kind of striper style, but
throw a big popper that you only have to pop every 5 seconds. Just
Oh yeah. You let me know if you do that. I'll give you some. I've never seen it. I've
I mean,
never
you've seen
it.
Jay catch one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Jay, we have Jay.
Yeah.
Well,
Jay
if you guys get them school, if you see schools of throw,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
It's-
we're
it's
always
the-
rigged up with swim baits.
It's the commitment, man. It's the commitment. If you're going to do that, you have to have it tied up and you have to throw that.
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
not going to commit
understand
to
that.
that.
I understand that.
Jay did it. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
If I
to
throw a
watch it
swim bait
and-
right in the middle of them, I'm gonna get a bite.
Oh yeah.
Jay,
I'm gonna hook one.
he threw it right. And I watched it. I didn't even cast because I wanted to see it happen, and it did. It was boom, and one missed. I mean, he's 40 plus. It missed, and then the next one took it, and I was like, and then I made my cast.
Oh yeah.
It was
It's
cool.
top water is my favorite. I love it. The problem I have is I'm watching the plug pop, 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 and I always miss it. So me, Austin, Fineo, and Alex, we were at Fishing the Islands.
So at that, missing them real quick because I do that when I'm sight casting reds too.
Yes.
For the first couple, and then I'll
Then you realize
relax,
you're waiting right.
relax
So
about it. Yeah,
I
It's
just
like-
wait till
it's
the
like
line goes.
It's like
That's
it's like
right.
jumping when you're shooting. I just went shooting.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's like jumping before you shoot. You relax, and then you're not doing that anymore.
I kept missing them. Like I just kept blowing. I'm like, damn it, Alex! Like, stop looking at your effing plug. So So I tossed out, like, not looking, and both of them saw it. It was a big fish. I ended up straightening one of the hooks out because I was using the small, one of the little poppers.
Striper.
Yeah. And it exploded. And when I felt him, I set the hook and I looked over and I saw the tail do this. And there's like, ah!
That's so awesome, dude.
And I was,
His tail just does this shit.
you know, and they're like, don't let it get the rocks, let it go. So I start, pop. I'm like, damn it. Like, I knew this was going to happen.
In the spring, I got one a couple years ago with a green tag in it from Maryland for $125.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Hey, striper.
Yeah, payday striper. They sent me $125 for
Did you
that.
release
jewel.
it?
No, they wanted the tag anyway. Luckily,
Oh.
I killed it because there was about this much of the tag hanging out and about that much of it grown into the fish.
What?
It was tagged for like 4 years or something like that.
No, that's
yeah,
awesome.
it
That's
was
cool as
awesome.
shit.
I got the information somewhere, but yeah, it was an old fish. They were happy about the information. I mean, it was nice. It was like 41 inches or something when I caught it. It was those early spring, well,
Yeah.
middle of the spring bites around the islands. You know, luckily that was the only one that size we caught. We caught some like 32, 33 inches back when you had to throw the ones in the middle back, and you might still in the spring, I don't know. But yeah, it was back then. You know, we caught a bunch in that size, and that one that was
Oh, yeah.
$125 high return tag from Maryland. I was like,
That's
sweet.
That's cool. That's badass right there. That's cool. Do you still tag fish?
No. Once I started filming, I couldn't keep up with the paperwork. I couldn't keep up with the work on it.
Oh, yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Especially when it's Fast and Furious. You're
Yeah.
like, tag, you're like, 309, like 306, like, shit!
We
Throw it down.
tagged. What was the most red drum in a day you did? We did 100.
Well, I was
What was the big ones?
always one of the top taggers.
Yeah,
I was
I
always
know
on the
that,
top
yeah.
level of the taggers. Always like 800 fish and shit like that a year. Yeah, we were the big ones. I still have some big tags. I should
No,
be tagging.
I'm
those,
talking
but-
about the little reds. How
Oh.
many little reds did we tag that day? Because we tagged like 50 or 60, and then you went back that afternoon.
It's
and
amazing
got
when you
another
have
50 more.
You say that when you're fishing, you're catching a shit ton of fish. You can say you've caught 50 and you maybe caught 20.
Yeah.
When you have the actual numbers down,
That's
it's like,
right.
holy shit, we actually caught.
Like,
we
amount of
caught
paper.
30 togs one time. It's like we really caught 30 togs today.
That's retarded.
Well, what was it? A couple of weeks when I took off and went with Rob and them. I was like, man, I was just catching them. And at one point, I was like, man, how many do you think I've caught? I think I'm probably around 15. And Rob's like, nah, man. He's like, you're more like 25
Yeah.
or so.
Well, because I know I do. I like will come down on the number if I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was
just
like,
always
man,
kind
we're
of be
like
conservative
15
on
or
a number
so?
just if
Right.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I went the first 4 at that spot I lost in a row, and then I think I caught 7 consecutively.
Yeah.
And then it was just continuously just.
That's retarded.
I don't know why,
Today-
dude. It was so stupid. I don't know why I got that spot. I think the people in front of us picked random pilings.
Was this the
And-
same spot?
Everybody was just piling fishing. So I stayed at the Yancey a little longer. I get to near the island. There's a line of kayaks on every piling. So I think it's Ryan Clark was at the very last one. I go to the one next to him, drop down immediately. I catch like 30.
On a pilot, like how?
I got like 30 in the same
Fucking
spot.
man.
What's,
Yeah.
what is at the base of the
I mean,
pylon
there was
that's-
Ryan Clark's piling was decent. He caught a bunch of fish. Rob Choi, Jeff Lockhart, me, eventually Billy. I caught close to 30. And then whatever
On the
they
same
caught off the
pylon?
same
Same
pylon.
problem.
Yeah.
And I get there and we
Does that-
basically all fish the same
Yeah.
time.
Does that happen
Yeah.
often?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? They're that many on the pylon? 'Cause I'm thinking
And
you
it
guys
just
are going
happens-
pylon
There'll
to
be that
pylon.
many on the other
Sometimes-
side of a rock.
Jesus Christ.
And most of the time it just happens to be I land on them. It's just stupid.
That's awesome.
It's
Well, I heard
literally
you- I heard
stupid
you're a
luck.
tall king.
It's literally stupid luck. I literally paddled to the first piling and didn't have somebody at it.
It's stupid luck until you get into them, and then it's all this fucking idiot savant skill. Like, not even looking and setting hooks on fish, and it's like I run video on it. It's,
The last 2 times I went tog fishing with Austin and Alex, this is back in the summer, I didn't catch one. I couldn't.
It's so much
Yeah.
fun.
It was like,
It's
thump,
that-
like
it's-
damn it.
it's that.
Damn it.
You have to know they're getting ready to bite.
It's
You
I took
talk
Andrew-
to them, like, all right, get ready. Okay, here we go. Now, without obviously giving up your favorite sets of pylons,
I don't have any favorite sets of pilings, dude.
how far
I'll
out
tell
are
you
you going?
that-
Are
This
you,
is close to the island.
This is close to the island.
Close-
this
close
this
to-
piling,
stop.
this piling was, if you're going northbound, was the first one before the one with the T at the island.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I mean, because I don't know if there's more than one of that sign. But there's a sideways T. It was the piling before that,
'Cause-
close to the island. If
I've always wanted.
that's the only thing I noticed when I was looking up there, because when I took
Right.
pictures, we drifted away, and I wanted to know exactly where to go back to, because Ryan had left and a couple other guys had moved by then,
Right.
because I'm just wailing on them right here, so they want to find a piling that they're butting like that on.
push you out the way and try to.
Well, we
Oh, no, I
all
invited
fish on.
people,
Yeah,
dude.
we
I don't
all,
give-
we all end up fish on one.
If I'm, especially,
That's great.
That's that picture of I
the
took
current was so
four.
calm that day, I
Yeah.
didn't, nobody needed to anchor at
Yeah,
all. So
that was the cool part.
If
So-
you don't need to anchor, then come on over.
Yeah.
Especially because don't tangle up. I'm
It's also
real
we have
mad
a
about
system
people
where we
fucking
like
my
with
rope.
spade fish fishing we'd come up and when the spade fish are biting you lose baits and then you have to come off
It's
and
a
rebait.
circle.
Yeah, and then the next
It's
person who's
basically
already
like
Okay,
baited
like
come
you're
up and
bailing
drop
dolphin
in.
offshore, yeah.
Yeah, you get in and get out. You're
That-
get,
that's
'cause you're-
cool.
And they're-
bites are
it's
so
all the
good.
same school of fish,
Yeah.
and we're just trying to catch them.
That's
See
funny.
what big ones we can get out of there.
Now you guys are doing before and after, a couple hours before and after the tide, so it's not the.
Well, but that day was slack, so it was a slacker day, so we could fish all day on that.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
I've been out there before. I mean, you just had the small boat
Yeah.
channel, and the currents were ripping so
It's-
bad.
It's around slack currents. Yeah.
Changing currents. Sometimes when the currents are real light all day, the slack tide is not good. If the currents are running real hard,
Slack
the
tide.
slack tide is good. But any day is the changing of the current.
Right.
Whether it's slack or, you know what I mean? Normally when it's slowing down or moving or picking back up.
Starting to move
yeah.
again because
Yeah.
it's like they spread out and then they.
Especially tog fishing. I mean, it
doesn't keep-
seems like they move around.
Oh, nice. God only knows. It's probably Al.
How many?
It doesn't.
A dozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Al
How long?
says
How long
anyway.
do we go for?
Or however.
Oh,
Whatever.
okay.
Whenever you're done talking, we'll stop. It doesn't matter.
I love this stuff. I told one of the guys I work with, he's like, "You're gonna do what?
Yeah.
Fuck's
The
a
way,
podcast."
the way I explain it's a radio show. It's an
Yeah.
internet radio show.
I'm doing the
Yeah,
radio
Al,
show.
dude, Austin was nervous. Austin was like, he's like, do you want me to
Thought it was
bring in
gonna be like
props? Do I need props? Do I need
He
that?
thought
I'm
it was
like,
a seminar, right? He thought it was gonna be like a
I
seminar.
was like, no, man,
He
we're
gets
just
so nervous.
bullshitting.
Well, he thought it was gonna be a seminar.
I saw.
Yeah.
He was in front of a camera at one other event that I'm not at liberty to talk about at the moment. He was so nervous, it was funny. Me and Alex had to leave the room, but now this is this is
He
fun.
leave the room.
I love this.
They had to leave the room so he could.
So he could be serious. He kept looking at us like losing his train of thought and everything else. But,
Somebody has decided to post, screenshot a picture of me during the podcast.
you said-
Is that the one from last week? Or is
No,
that-
this is the shirt I'm wearing
Again?
now. I don't know,
Again.
maybe I'm wearing the same shirt. I don't know.
But that looks like the same face you did last week.
Yeah.
Is that who is that?
George Joseph.
That's
there ain't no tell.
that's Massini.
That's all of our friends making fun of
That's
us.
Massini.
That one post.
Oh.
That's the same one from last week.
The one.
We're the same fucking shirt.
Yeah, fuck this
Jeff.
My dirty ass shirt.
That's right. It happens.
I got two of them. I'll wear them. Like,
Yeah, I got two of the same one.
Jeff Gregory.
Why did they send
posted,
us two? Like they sent a whole bunch
I
of
ordered-
shirts.
I ordered
Oh,
two.
AFCO?
They sold a whole bunch of shirts in the same sizes, except they sent 2 medium of this
I
color
order them.
and 2 medium of that
I
color.
order them.
Yeah, but it's weird.
Yeah, but I order them two so you can have two, so it lasts longer.
Weird.
That's smart.
Yeah. You don't wear out one shirt, you wear out two shirts.
The Jeff Gregory posted in VA Surfcasters that I was going to be on here.
I'm a half hoarder when it comes to that. That's from touring, is getting two of everything.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Go ahead. What?
Yeah, no, so Jeff Gregory posted in VA Surfcasters that I was going to be on here, and I think there's like 100 comments on that thing. People just posted funny ass things. And that.
Dude, the meme, let the meme war begin.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Well,
Yeah,
so
that
I
was-
caught some flack a while back because VA Surfcasters on Facebook was started by Alex. Me and him kind of talked about it, and it was his idea. I give him all the credit for it, but
It's basically you get just a group area.
it's just
I
it's
started the same thing. I started a fight page.
Yeah,
A fish
yeah.
fish fighting fight
Yeah.
page because I like all the same all the fishermen
Right,
that
yeah.
are on Facebook and whenever the fights are on, it's just somewhere to talk where we can talk about the fights.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's
So-
a half dozen of us get on
and-
there.
And I caught some flack one day. There was a meme or mem, whatever the hell you call them. There was a memoir, and some of the stuff was getting vulgar. And I got 2 complaints from it from people that I know. Like, dude, I was on Facebook. My son was sitting next to me, and I got a picture of a guy with his thing and his, whatever.
Yeah, it was some.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, enough is enough. Like I don't mind the memes, but sometimes, there's, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I'm gonna help Matt co-host Fishing Tidewater on Saturday.
Cool.
So anybody that gets up early in the morning that's not fishing, if you want to listen to,
I listened to the last hour of it
on your way to work. Yeah. So it's on AM. They're on Facebook, Fishing Tidewater. I'm gonna help them. I guess.
I listened to it. I was thinking, because they're like finding an internet thing to stream their stuff, or at least do a podcast version of it where they record it and puts on or something like that. They're doing some kind of networking like that. And I was like, hey, it would be fucking funny to have him on here and without commercials, without having be able to cuss and all that stuff. Captain Don would be funny on here.
Oh yeah, God, he is. The two of them together are funny. He's actually going into. He's having surgery again. Yeah, I'm assuming is his knee. I think I don't know all the details about it. He's been having a lot of issues, but he's a riot on the air. I've been on it a few times, with him there. And he's a funny guy. Between him and Matt used to be my roommate years ago in another lifetime. So I've known Matt for a very long time. He's a good friend of mine. Haven't fished with him forever because he's busy, but he's actually who I got started. I got really big into the surf fishing. Yeah. Not to talk about myself too much, but
what did you do before surf fishing?
Well, I moved. My grandfather was a waterman on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and my uncle, my mom's brother, is a waterman on the Eastern Shore, and we think that the genes skipped that family and when it somehow ended up with me. Ever since I was little, my uncle or my grandfather on vacation would always take me fishing on the beach in Ocean City, Maryland. I loved it. Always loved it, catching little sharks and stuff like that. I always had a thing for it. And then when my parents moved down here in '92. I was 12 years old. The neighborhood they moved into had 2 lakes. And I started freshwater fishing, and that was just like in the summertime every single day. I was late every day. I got grounded. I just spent every waking moment an hour. I'd get up early in the morning to fish the pond, and then I got discovered that other neighborhoods have ponds.
Sounds like my childhood story.
Yeah, so it's just like fish freshwater. And it was a freshwater for a long time, and then high school discovered skateboarding, girls, and some other things that we don't need to mention on there.
How old are you?
34.
34. Okay, so you're 10 years ahead of you.
Then I got.
I rode too, but
basically my age.
It wasn't the same era.
I had a big group of friends, and a bunch of stuff went down. I got back into fishing, and then I discovered saltwater fishing. Like, wow, the stuff I catch in freshwater I'm using for bait.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I was at Sandbridge Pier one day. I was at Sandbridge Pier one day and saw one of those drum, and I looked down at that and I pointed at it and was like, "That's me right there," and that's been me ever since.
Oh yeah,
I literally looked at that fish, pointed at it, and was like, "That's me right there. That's exactly what I need."
There's a guy I work with.
That's a real fish. It's not a shark.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a shark fan. Yeah. That's a real fish. Sharks. That's not a shark. That's me.
Well, little shark fishing from shore will be a little bit different because different fight.
It's a lot different.
It's different fight getting them right next to you.
We caught drum all evening long while AJ fought the same shark. We fought drum after drum while AJ fought the same shark.
So
right,
I don't like catching
exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't like catching sharks in a boat. Or I wouldn't like hooking up one.
I caught 8.5, 9 foot.
Right. So if you watch Rob's video with him and the shark, you can see as he gets it next to him, he's trying to do something with it. Like it's kind of scary. It's kind of sketchy.
Yep.
Even the small 4 or 5 foot sandbars are sketchy in a boat because they can move however they want to. So
the muscles the whole way down. There's no dead spot. They
can touch your tail.
They can eel. They can eel.
When you have them on the beach, they don't have that water. So gravity's working against them. They're laying on the sand, so they can only do. They can still turn, but they can only do so much. But
larger, probably not.
You hold them. When you lift them, you got their tail off the ground, so you really got gravity working against them.
So my favorite thing in the world, besides catching big fish off the beach, and probably just as much as enjoying that, is if we're fishing the beach together and you hook a big shark. One of the things I absolutely love is running to the surf and grabbing it by its tail and dragging it on the beach.
Leader man.
So do you follow that guy Brent Holly from Florida?
I've seen some of his stuff.
That guy catches those giant tiger sharks.
They have a completely different fishery down there.
Right, those things are sick.
I got good friends. My buddy Dave.
Sharks.
Yeah, they are.
That's
Yeah,
pelagic sharks. I mean, that's not standard gear. That's 80 wide, 50
Yeah,
wide,
so-
80 wide off the beach gear.
Right.
These things are pelagic. They take a run. It's like 150, 200 yards,
There you
300
go.
yards. See you later.
So we yak baits off the beach up on Astig, because you're technically now a shark fish out to 500 yards in Virginia Beach, blah blah blah. But we've done better up on Astig Island in Maryland, casting with our regular surf gear, with 30s and 20-pound tests, catching big sand tigers.
Yeah.
My buddy Dave, and he actually does a guide service in the summertime. He is the shark man. He catches more sharks than anybody I know off the beach. He's good at it. He tags them through some NFS, NWS, I don't know, some program. But he catches 10-foot sand tigers.
Jay does that. Also, Ryan Honeycutt tags sharks.
Yes, down south, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's actually cool. I mean, it's just like tagging, like the Virginia Saltwater Tournament tagging program. They send you a bunch of these big, giant metal tags or whatever to tell you how to identify them, male, female, blah, 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 everything else. And so we tag them. The first shark I ever tagged was a 69-inch sand tiger I caught on Astig Island in Maryland. And 376 days later, my buddy Dave, who was with me when I tagged it, caught the same shark, a mile and a half from where we were.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit. Like,
She came back next year?
yeah.
Yeah.
What are the reds up there? Y'all coming to reds?
Not like down here. They get a few right in the fall.
Springtime, don't they come in the spring?
They don't get the springtime. It's black drum and striper.
Huh.
I got a 46 off the beach last year. It was
Yeah.
skinny as hell, but
Yeah, there are.
sand fleas.
I was fishing Sandbridge one year at the pier after the drum had it was. I don't think we had caught a drum in a week. You know what I mean?
Late October, pretty much over.
Yeah, we hadn't caught a drum in a week, so me and Jason Carroll are standing on the pier, and I'm standing on the pier. There's just us two. I've got the tip of the line in my fingers. I feel a thump. I turn around. By the time I get to the reel, it's screaming. I pick it up. I mean, as far as I can go with the drag. At one point, Jason stands in front of me and picks the butt of the rod up, empties the spool.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No idea what freight train I hooked off Sandbridge Pier, but it wasn't a dolphin that ran into the line. I mean, I felt it pick it up. You know what I mean?
Dolphin would have come up.
I don't believe dolphins will run into people's lines.
Oh,
I think
incorrect.
mine got.
Incorrect.
I think it might have bit it. It was a.
No, it
was
didn't
a.
bite it.
It was a.
The only reason I say that is because I've had dolphin go through my spread on the beach. We've had them offshore doing flips.
I've seen them run into people's lines on the pier.
Yeah,
I've seen them run into piers. Yeah, dude. I've seen them
been
spool people on the
I've been
pier.
spooled by one.
I mean,
But
it's
but I'm not sure if he bit it or not.
No, I mean, I know they didn't bite
Yeah.
these on the pier. Like,
This
they
was
literally, we could see the lines
Yeah.
bow at the water
This was a
edge.
peeler-
And like,
this was a peeler
I mean,
crab.
they came up, put their fins up in between the lines off the end of the pier in the middle of the drum season and took about 3 guys at one time.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
Crabs,
Yeah.
This is peeler crabs at the shoals.
Yeah.
The dolphins come in, I film them, and then bam, bam, it goes.
Oh, Jesus.
And by the time I even pick up the rod, it's spooled.
Flipper 1, U0.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah, I don't know. This wasn't that though. I mean, I felt this pick it up. This was a shark. This was a shark.
Sure.
And
Dude,
I don't know.
Ray.
No, it was not a ray.
This was some rays.
No, I mean, this thing emptied a 30 in 6 seconds.
That was a shark.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Rays will
emptied.
stop.
I mean, it literally emptied the 30. It got down to where my thumb was on the metal, and I just wrapped my thumb around it. You know what I mean? And broke it and reeled
That's
all
the
my
worst.
line back up.
That's the worst. I'm on call, so I'm looking at work email.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I look at Facebook all the time while we're here.
I'm fine. Yeah, whenever you're done, man.
Any other questions on there?
There ain't no telling what's on there right now. I'm starting to wonder if Al even has a job. All he does is post on Facebook. Between him and Shane Hatcher.
Yeah.
Him and Shane Hatcher, they go at it. Some funny
the
stuff.
The mean
man.
stuff, man, they must have folders of like. They've had to be like really organized because they have the shit they come up with is really quick and really accurate.
I don't know how they do it. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean it's like they must have folders for certain situations.
They had their desktop set with all these memes like ready to go. Like,
Dude, the
Al
one,
Al 2, Al.
the one the other day, it fucking floored me. It was the one where Rob, this is Jet Li's fishing. Oh no, it's Rob Troy again.
The must.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then it scrolls down, and it was talking about all Asians look the same, all white people look the same. And then it was like, well, no, Lee's real distinguishable with the small hands. And then the Kevin one. Then mine was it was like a hippie guy in a pop field blowing his flute. Right? That one, dude, it fucking stopped me in my tracks. It cramped me up. I was laughing so hard. I mean, it stopped my evening. It's so fucking funny. It stopped my evening. I was sending people who's not friends with them just so they can see it. You know, it just killed me.
I had to stop looking at some of these posts before I went to bed.
How many cubes are in a bag of ice?
I'll be looking at Facebook and something will happen and I'll just start laughing out loud and wake my girlfriend up. She's like, "What are you laughing at?"
The cubes in a bag of ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's windy and nobody's fishing.
Meme generator, Jeff Gregory. The picture of me. What? The fuck is wrong with
It's
Joe?
like it messes you up. It's like messing you up. Like, I don't even know how to react to it. You don't know how to react
Fuck
to
Joe.
it. You're like, it confuses you.
It is so funny. I'm pretty sure he knows my brother because my brother used to drink at that bar before he moved out of that neighborhood a few years ago. But he said he didn't know Joe, but who knows what Joe goes by at Judy's? You know? Pretty sure my
I'm
brother...
driving down with him on that tournament.
Yeah.
Willie Rags. I'm driving down with him on that tournament. So that's gonna be interesting. But me and Gene are a
Nice.
team. Yeah, we're in a team. We're doing that as a team. It's a team thing. So
Winners.
Yeah. Team Adventure
Team
Underwater.
winners. Huh?
Team Adventure Underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're the only ocean kayak sponsor on that.
I heard I'm getting a jersey.
Yep.
Jersey.
Yeah.
jersey. I told
That's
you.
it, dude. I'm wearing it the whole time. Fuck this shit.
When I got this
Middle of the
jersey-
winter, it's over top of everything. I told her I need a medium and a
medium.
3X. She's like, what do you need a 3X for?
Put it over top of my winter suit.
I got this thing. The first thing I was like, because this is when we were getting Lee on, and I got the jersey, and I was like, oh boy, Lee's gonna love this. He's on the team. He's gonna love this.
So for the people who don't understand or know what that is, because I was asking him like, what's this Adventure on the Water? What is that? Is that like the parent company for all these other companies?
No,
or?
Adventure on the Water is the website for the Ocean Kayak Pro staffers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
that's all that is.
But it's not like a private
great-
website. It's a website for the public, for the pro staff. You know what I mean?
I
It's
gotcha.
all profiles,
It's like
pictures,
the blogs,
videos,
blog on there if
vlogs.
you want. Yeah, it's just
Oh,
full
cool.
All of
access.
Rob's links are up there. All of
My junk is
everyone.
on there.
I gotta come see you at the shop.
It's a cool website because there's
right down
so
the street
many.
from you, man.
Yeah.
When you're at the
Yeah, I know. I need some parts for my yak. The little thing, the bungee that holds the paddle to the side. That's not elastic anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need to go to this. I might have that. I don't know.
Yeah, I got. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that.
I was cleaning my
got
area
that.
for do the
I literally broke
Studio
the front
V.
straps on my boat, and Kevin's like, "Yeah, I got a whole set of that." All right.
because I strip kayaks when I get them. I do all the rigging stuff on the sides I don't like, so I take all that stuff off. And
Oh, wow,
I
really?
take off-
Interesting.
yeah. It's just hook grabbing stuff. I mean, it's good for us when it's safety features, but I
Right.
take them off. But I keep all that stuff. So I have bungees I have rolls and rolls of bungees.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to ride the Thresher the other day because we landed and went back up to the beach, up to get Jay's truck, and we stopped at the shanty and
Yeah,
had
that's right, you got
dinner.
Yeah.
But that thing looks interesting, man. It seems really bulky, but it doesn't sit that high out of the water except for that front hatch thing is
Right.
kind of up there.
So what are you riding now?
We ride ocean kayak stuff, but right now I guess my main boat would be the Trident. That's what I'm riding right now.
Yeah, I'm riding. He's
Yeah.
a Trident 15. I'm riding.
Well, Trident 13.
Yeah, Trident
the
13
15 is
is-
the only one I use for just camping.
Yeah,
I just use it.
the 13 is the one we use all the time.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to get at the beginning of the year. Hopefully, is the 4.3
Ultra.
Ultra.
And my main boat for long distance has been Ultra 4.7, which is a 15 foot. I like the longer boats, but I'm also getting another one.
I got an older 13 Prowler Trident, whatever. I don't know if you guys know Lars. I can't pronounce his last name.
Sounds familiar. I don't recognize that name.
You'd recognize if you saw him. He's real involved with the Heroes in the Water and the kayak and stuff
Yeah.
and everything else. And I actually bought one of his old ones years ago.
Is it Trident or Prowler? Does it have a hatch in the center?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Trident. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's two different styles,
Yeah.
two different hull designs, but both of them are badass.
I need to break it out. I'm just like I said, I'm lazy. But how far out would I have to paddle on the bridge to catch taut.
Start at the small boat channel. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you can start to find rocks, your better chances start to be like closer towards the second small boat channel where there's a little deeper water. Where there's deeper water, they put more rocks around the pilings, I think.
And you can catch them. We say you can catch them anywhere. You can catch them at HRBT. You can catch them near the ships. But
I've caught them.
Right.
Yeah.
You can catch them at the jetties over here if you want to, but they're going to be
Yeah.
small. But we use why we go out there on those nice days because we can catch trophies. We can really catch trophies.
I mean, I caught a 10.5 pounder at the second island.
Yes,
It was on the
so-
boat, but it was in an area where we can catch them on the kayaks, and we have
You guys are
been on the
nuts
kayaks.
paddling out like I don't know.
It's your right days and
That's
and
true
we're conditioned for it too, like your workouts and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, well, that's
Well, even back in the day when I wasn't working out, I
But
still
we-
paddled all the
but
time.
we trained. It was-
Actually,
the paddling was training.
When I
Yeah.
wasn't, well, actually, when I was fat, I probably paddled more than I do now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I was fishing more. You know what I
I
mean?
was
But
fishing-
that's all I ever did. But I paddled a lot.
Also, before I was filming, we were fishing more too.
Yeah.
We were fishing twice as much as we did. We were
Yeah, I mean,
losing
yeah,
people.
People hate us. We suck. So.
Yeah, no,
and I
it's-
forgot to tell. Scott and Chrissy aren't working tonight, and I forgot to tell them we're live.
Oh.
They always watch.
Yeah.
They like
Thanks
it.
for
They tell
having
us that the sound stuff messed up.
Oh.
Yeah. They're playing video games at the house. They put it on and listen to us. They think
Nice.
we're funny. I mean, they don't even fish at all.
I listened to it once if I remember about it, but I just.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we hope people remember sometimes, that's all.
You remember? Did I tell you about? I was in a. I don't know if I told you or not. You'll get a kick out of this. I was Ocean City, the family vacation, fishing the beach. The first night we always fish right by the hotel. My family comes down, everybody hangs out, and I'm fishing and we just caught a shark and we had like 30 people around us. Oh my god, whatever. And to me, I like that. You know,
People love it.
I felt like paparazzi, like fly.
Yeah. The shark, how big is the shark?
It was 5 feet.
Oh, okay.
So
Because people go ape shit over a 2.5 footer. So I mean, you got a 5 footer.
yes,
So you got a man eater. These things. Somebody wanted to kill it.
Oh yeah, well, people were like, oh my god, where did you catch that? About 60 yards that way.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with it? Send it back that way. You know, like oh my god.
You can't do that.
No.
My kid's gonna swim here tomorrow, and now this shark is alive out here.
Well, funny you say
Now
that.
it is. Now it is.
This year,
Now the shark is here.
this year we were fishing, and
You caught the only one.
like I said, the first night we always fished at the hotel, and I called Dave and John, all those guys. I told them to come up, and Dave got a 5.5 foot sandbar, and my buddy Jason was there. Jason's mom is the lady that's in charge of all the foreign exchange students in Ocean City, so she's big time, and she was out to dinner with the owner of the hotel that we were staying at, and Jason like takes a picture with the shark and like sends it to his mom. She goes to the owner like, oh look. You know, Jason and his friends are fishing in Castle, and like the owner like loses his fucking mind. He's like, "Don't tell anybody where you were. Don't post it on Facebook. Oh my God, my people!" Like he was so mad. Like,
Right.
Don't tell anybody where you caught that. He was afraid people were going to go.
Right,
Wow.
they're out of here. Fuck
Yeah.
this.
I was like,
Hotels is going
Invested. This place, we're gonna die.
We made a little girl cry one year. I had to go explain to her that they only come in at night. They don't feed on people. It's just like
So I'm on Sandbridge one day with
people freak out.
with
Yeah,
Angel.
I do.
In the middle of the summer, I was down at Sandbridge for some reason. I wasn't fishing. Angel was fishing, and I go down there, and he's throwing a jerk jigger. Gotcha plug, whatever we jerk jigger, gotcha plug. So he's throwing those things off the end of the pier, and he's catching a Spanish mackerel every now and then, but he's catching more cobia, like baby cobia, like 25 inchers. You know what I mean?
That's a good day.
So, I mean, he's catching he's caught like 4 or 5 of them so far. So this kid runs down there and he catches one, and he's like, "You caught a shark, mister?" And he's like, Angel's like, "Yeah, I mean, I got this fish." And the kid's like, "What kind of shark is it?" And Angel looks at him and he's like, "It's not a shark, it's a cobia." The kid turns around and looks at his mom. "Look, Mom, it's a cobia shark."
Like every fish that comes out of it is a
Oh
shark.
yeah. People would be amazed.
Well, I mean, they
It
don't.
looks
They
like a
kind.
shark.
But
Yeah.
look, Mom, it's not a shark. It's a
Cobia
cobia.
shark.
Look, Mom, it's a cobia shark.
People would be amazed at some of the stuff that we catch.
You have no
off the
idea.
beach.
You have no idea. If you like to take your kids swimming in the water
It's-
and you're
it's
scared of sharks,
phenomenal.
don't talk to anyone that fishes near the beach.
There's a picture that somebody had posted up and said it was at Chicks Beach, and it ended up it wasn't, but there was a shark that had been like chasing bait up on the beach, Like,
Yeah.
it was going to work its way back. You could tell it was thrashing. It was going to work its way
That
back.
happens down Cape Point. all the
Yeah,
time.
well, it
Yeah.
was faked, but it was had pilings out there. It looked like it was like the close to
Right.
Cape Henry
Right.
part of, or yeah. So it looked like it, but it ended up being faked. But the whole thing was like people just couldn't believe that there was a fish like big in the bay. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's when those boats
Yeah.
happen. There's a whole like
There's
explaining
a
to
whole,
people. Yes, these are actual fish that are. Yeah.
Where? What is
Those
this one?
giant fucking rays. And this,
Yeah.
4
Uh-huh.
feet of water.
yeah. Well, in the second movie, I ran
Oh,
over one
we've seen them. We've seen them when we're drum fishing.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It-
The
Late
only reason I got
in
him is
June.
because it was low tide. There was like 6 inches of water on top of the sandbar. He was in the trunk.
Yeah.
Like,
Just walked
those
out and
things
got
are-
him.
there's-
yeah,
I
had to. He
I
was-
run over one in the movie in the second fishing DVD, and the thing comes up, and just this wing was as big.
There's a
as
picture that
Yeah.
they just
Tex
glide
put
like
on
spaceships.
Instagram of Kevin
Hooked one.
with one underneath of his kayak that is
Oh,
Because I got it up just where and it's pretty much as wide as
on
my
both
boat.
sides of the boat.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, it's sideways, pull me this
Yeah.
way, but it's long as the picture is. You know,
Well,
it's,
Yeah.
I completely believe they're out there. We've seen them offshore, but my buddy Dave, the guy who shark fish up on Nasty, every summer, at least once, last year I think might have been twice, he hooks Rayzilla.
yeah.
And each time, in like the last 4 or 5 years, he's fought it for at least 3 hours, and then it finally breaks off his line. 3 years ago, we got it into the wash. Not really the wash. We got it close enough to see it in the waves. No lie, this thing was at least 10 feet.
Yeah.
What?
As soon as I hook it, as soon as I realize what I got, I ain't got it no more.
Snip.
Those things,
I hate
you ride
this
over
thing
them, and they're usually like the second week of June.
Mhm.
We're going like the tail end of drum season. That's
Sure,
usually when
yeah.
we see them. They show up like right with the sharks and all that.
Oh, yeah,
filtered
yeah.
place and
That's
the
miserable
reds
when
get out
you
there.
hook one of them when you're
But just
fishing.
seeing
I mean,
them,
imagine how many shark baits you could get out of that thing, though.
How many scallops you get?
it's gotta be that thick. I mean, that thing's the wings themselves are that
That's
that
horrible.
powerful.
It's retarded.
Yeah, those things are huge. But it's cool to watch them because they just glide like spaceships. Like
Oh,
they
it's
just
phenomenal.
move. Like when you paddling over top of them, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to wrap it up?
Sure, why not?
You're
Yeah,
tired.
we talk about fishing. I could talk for the next 3 hours about fishing.
Right. Well, we
got
can do it
We
again.
got a long winter, man. We got,
Oh, yeah, that's fine by me. That's
Well,
fine
you'll
by
come
me.
Yeah, I
back
mean,
in again.
it's close to an hour and a half now. So.
Yeah,
we'll
why
come back
not?
in again. You're Andrew Kumjian. Kumjian,
Yeah.
I said it right. It's andrewkfishing.com.
Yes, I update it whenever I have a banner trip. It's been a while.
What's Rodfather's website?
It's they're in the process of actually building the actual storefront where you can go buy rod building components and parts and custom built rods and everything else. But right now it's facebook.com/rodfatherva, all one word.
You don't have a website. It's just Facebook.
Go to Facebook and look up
Rodfather.
Rodfather.
VA.
Yes.
If you get-
there's a
Rodfather.
Rodfather charter boat, and we're not affiliated.
Right.
Captain Ray's not affiliated with that. But custom built rods, rod building accessories. If you want to learn how to build a rod, parts, components, everything else, he's got it. He's got a ton of custom built rods. If you don't see something you want, he can have it built.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And that's the thing is kayakers. You want to kind of. I know. For me, I customize almost every rod that I get. So that's
Yeah.
oh yeah,
That's good.
It's a
Yeah.
good place to know. Can I give one more plug?
Yeah.
The,
A lot of plugs, whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The lures, Guy Seeger lures. Anybody that knows me or friends with me on Facebook knows we talk about them all the time. Honest to God, I use them all the time.
Oh, Alex's website too. That is that still going?
Which? The VA Surfcasters?
No, the
Which one? The guys?
the
Oh, yeah.
shit. The donation thing.
Yeah. So that's one thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah, we should definitely
Talk about
go
that
into that.
more,
We've
yeah.
Okay, so real
I
quick
meant to
for-
bring that up
for-
earlier.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
I'd say. Yeah.
I feel bad. He's my best friend. Shit.
Yeah.
So, for those who follow us on Facebook, Alex Field, who's my best friend, he got diagnosed back in September, I think now, with testicular cancer. He got the first part of it cut out. It came back 3 weeks later. He went through three rounds of chemo, and I've never in my life seen him as fucked up as he was during the chemo. The chemo's done now, and now he goes for a twice a week test, basically MRI, CAT scan, I think, and blood work to see if it's coming back. Obviously, I didn't realize it until I actually saw some of the bills, but chemo is expensive as hell. But his fiancee Laura set up it's a give forward site. If you want to make a donation, you can go on there. contact me on Facebook. Is the best way. The link's on my page. I don't know if the website is gigantic, but if for some reason you
Yeah,
want to
we
make
should
it,
have tagged that in this. We probably.
What you guys do when I do the YouTube post, just send me the link.
Okay,
and
I
I'll
can
put
do
it up
that,
on the
yeah.
comments of
Yeah.
the YouTube post.
yeah. So if anybody wants
I
to
need to do
make a
that.
donation, I'm not trying to solicit for money or anything like that. We all go through tough times. Chemo's very expensive. Obviously, he's not working. He's on disability. That only pays so much.
Yeah.
But if you feel that you want to make a donation, definitely contact me, and I can, we can either pay through the site with credit card. You can do PayPal, whatever. We got it all set up.
Yeah. My mom
So-
went through 3 rounds of chemo too,
It's unbelievable.
It's
Like,
brutal.
And,
Yeah, it's
and
brutal.
Alex looks funny
Poison.
as shit with bald hair. With a bald head. Anyway,
Gingers with bald heads.
that's right. Kind of creepy.
tall, too.
That's right.
He's like
tall.
a giant. He's not even tall. He's giant. He's he's bigger than he's
Yeah.
6'3" and he's
Oh,
bigger than
yeah.
him.
He's as tall as me, and just like he's
Yeah.
big. He's funny. I've seen him manhandle some giant cobia this summer. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Come
you
here.
should have seen me put the stick in that 80-pounder. Done.
Oh, but when I caught a cobia a few years ago off the beach, and last story, I promise. The day before,
Oh, we don't care.
Yeah,
we
that's right.
literally have
I'm
all
just out
night.
of water, that's all.
Oh, I got a ball right there. I know. This is back in 2010. The day before, I hooked and lost a cobia. The guy next to me, never seen him before, haven't seen him again, didn't clear his lines. If you're fishing the beach and the person next to you hooks up with something very large, courtesy,
Yeah,
bring your
I
lines
mean,
together away.
Dude, if I ask
We
you
do
to
it,
please
too.
get your shit out of my way, get your shit out of my way, I'm gonna
Quickly.
cut your shit.
We parted.
Quickly with urgency.
It broke. We saw it in the wash. 100% I did it with a cobia with the 15 people that are standing behind me. Like, that'll never ever happen again in Virginia. They do it down in Hatteras, I'm not talking about Hatteras. The next day I go out there, I tell my buddy Jeremy, who lives in Florida now. Jeremy's this short little stocky kid from Jersey. He's got that Jersey attitude. And I told him what happened. He's like, man,
Joyzy.
fuck that shit. I'll cut the line out. So anyway, we're fighting.
Right.
And I was married.
I got that Virginia attitude, man. Fuck that shit. I'll cut your line.
That's right.
I've done it to people in their kayaks. Ask Seth.
That's right.
I threatened Seth. Literally threatened.
I was married
Over a
that
shark.
time. I had my ex with me. She looks over and says, you're getting a bite. I look over and the rod just tap, tap, tap.
Oh,
And it
that's what
slowly
this
goes.
80-pounder did.
And then it just bzzz, I'm like, it's a ray. Pick it up. Nothing. It's a ray. About 15 minutes into the fight, I start feeling some head shake. Then a wave crested. We see this thing that looked like it was 15 feet long. Like, oh my God, it's a cobia. Jeremy, shirt off, empties his pockets right on the sands. Like, what do I do? What do I do?
Go on.
I'm about to
Tell me
fucking
what to
grab it.
Yeah.
Let me get it. Let me swim.
The only thing I had with me is I keep a small hand gaff that I use for like when we catch big rays.
That's right.
You keep the cap on, slide it underneath the mouth, hook your
Oh,
mouth.
dude, that'll work for a big cobia in the surf.
Yeah.
Nah.
So I go out there, I tell them, we get it close, we get it in the wash.
Have you
I'm like, all
know.
right, don't hit the line. I said, stick him as hard as you can in the head and be prepared he's going to go ape shit. So he runs over top of him, sticks this thing with all his might. It's a 75-pound cobia. At that. Slams this thing. This fish starts going nuts, goes berserk.
He's running backwards towards the beach.
Jeremy drops to his knees and grabs the fish. Like, "Fuck you, you're not getting away. Like wrestling sand, water's going everywhere. And I was like, oh shit. So like I drop the rod, run down there, wrap the leader,
Right.
stick my hand in his mouth and grab the inside of his gun. We pull him up on the beach. I'm just like, holy fuck, this is huge. And like,
Yeah.
we gotta go, like now. And like I carry it up and over the dune, slam all down the side of my head, tail slapping.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I love it.
Did he, when he jumped on, did the spikes get him?
I don't remember. No, but no, he grabbed it. This thing was thrashing. He literally, if I had it on film, I'd be rich. Like, it was hilarious. Yeah, he literally dropped to his knees. Was
Gotta
wrestling
have
this thing. I threw the keys to my ex to go get my truck, pull up to the gate. I don't care what anybody says, anything. Pull my truck up. So I carry the fish up there, dump, kick some hot sand out of the way, burn my feet, burn the shit out of my feet. I had blisters. Dump the cobia on the sand. I was like, I gotta get the rest of our shit. Run back. I turn around and look, and Jeremy's coming over to sand dune with all of his shit, all of my shit, my pure cart, all of my ex's shit. Just like trooper, like tracking on. We gotta wait this son of a bitch. We gotta go. I was like, oh my god. It ended up being 75 pounds.
That's fucking amazing.
We waited at the fishing center, and the guy's like, what boat were you on? I was like, I wasn't on the boat. I was on the beach. He's like, bullshit. What boat were you on? I'm like, come look in the back of my truck. And there's like sand everywhere and
Yeah.
slime. He's like, oh my god, you caught this off the beach. And at the time, Louis Gillingham told me that to the best of his knowledge, that's the largest cobia ever caught and weighed for a citation, caught off the beach in Virginia.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
that's-
imagine. I mean, I've seen some big ones. I've seen one.
Oh, I know, like Neil
I've
Cho and
heard
Alan,
of
all
them.
those guys, they get them big off Hatteras.
No, I mean, I've
Baits
heard of
out.
guys
Right.
off Sandbridge Pier
Oh, they get
releasing
some
them
big
that
ones.
big.
But no, the beach.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
the
off
beach,
the beach.
Yeah.
When I was talking about wrestling, when I was a kid, we when the carp would school up and push up, that my dad would like send me in and wrestle him. I'd just jump on him, man. I remember,
God.
40-inch fish, and I'm a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
Full on bear hug on
Those
the carp.
sliders.
That's that 80-pound cobia, man. I literally set the baits out to drumfish. Walk. We've been sitting there probably 10 minutes or so. I think I changed 1 or 2 baits. You know what I mean? Maybe 15 minutes. I walk around the front of the console. I'm peeing off the front half of the boat, and I look at the rod. It goes click, 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 and I'm like, and basically the charter. It was my buddy Brian's neighbors. They had done some yard work and stuff for him, so they took him out. We looked for cobia all day. Didn't see any cobias. We
That's how it happens.
literally set up at the island where
Unless
we've
with
been.
Alex.
We set up at the island near where we've been catching the drum. Except we actually set up a little deeper on accident. You know, the anchor just didn't. I've been casting. I'm close enough.
Yeah.
We're gonna catch a drum. So this happened. The line starts going. The guy picks up the rod and he's reeling. He's reeling. He's reeling. I get done peeing. I walk around there. He hasn't even engaged the drag yet.
Oh, God.
This thing is just going. It's just going like swimming. So I engage the drag all up, and this thing just bows over. Because I told the guy, like, on the way in there, because they're mad, they're like drunk and upset because we haven't caught like a cobia.
Upset.
Yeah, they're drunk and upset because we haven't caught a cobia. And I was like, dude, if we get a bite, it's gonna be the biggest. My dogs.
Oh.
I was like, it's gonna be the biggest fish you ever caught in your entire life. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, I've caught big muskie, you know, big, like 46-inch muskie. I was like, no. I was like, if we
So
catch one of
different.
these big drum, it's gonna be the biggest, strongest fish you've ever caught in your entire life. So this thing is hooked up. It's going fucking absolutely crazy. It comes up and splashes on top, and Brian's like, all right, man, it's color. We got a fish out there. Good. We got a big drum. I was like, sweet. The guy had it in free spool forever. I mean, it's fucking
out.
Oh, yeah.
forever out there. So, reels and reels. This guy fights this thing. The next time it comes up to the top, it's like 40 yards away, 35 yards away. And it comes up top, and Brian's like, that's not a drum. That is a giant cobia. Like a fucking giant. And I look up from watching the guy reel, and I look up, and I'm like,
You see Mr. Brown suit.
yeah,
Like,
cruising, and my heart just drops. I'm like, we're going to lose it. I was like, that's it. This guy sucks. We're on anchor. It swims at the boat. I'm like pulling the boat towards the anchor. It swims under, and then towards the back. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I let off the anchor rope, go back around the back of the boat. We get, back tight again. This guy fights this thing back up. It comes near the top and circles back down. And he's like, I don't know. I can't. And Brian looks at him and he's like, do you want to catch this thing? And he's like, yeah. I was like, Brian was like, give me that rod then. And Brian just like takes the rod from the guy. He's done. So Brian just like takes the rod from him and starts reeling. And I just grab the gaff and I'm standing there.
least you had
And
a
I'm
gaff.
the most nervous motherfucker on the planet. I'm like, this thing is giant. I know it now. I've seen it twice.
Was that your first gaff shot?
The first time it comes up, I don't like to reach, man. I could have stuck it. I had the gaff on the other side of it, but I was all the way extended, and I just picked the gaff up. And Brian was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, nah, man, that thing's hooked good. I was like, as long as we don't have anything catastrophic happen, it comes back up. We got it next time, man. But I've never lost a gaff over the side,
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
not about to start with the biggest one I've ever tried to stick.
Yeah.
So it comes back up the second time, and it's like half length, and I just reach out and stick to the other side of it, and it was over. It's done. Right behind the shoulder, just underneath the belly, that thing was done.
I think Austin almost went overboard this summer, reaching for a
I
big-
don't.
for a big-
You
I can
have
imagine,
to
man.
sometimes, man.
I can imagine you reach and just it yanks the other
Well,
way.
he was like one-handed like this and hooked it. It was
Right.
just like, so
and
I
just
think-
hit.
I think, no, it could be
You
wrong.
have the wrong jerk. at the
Yeah,
wrong
you don't.
time.
I try as hard as I can, dude. I try not to do that.
Yeah.
I understand
We'll
why
wrap
he does it.
We'll wrap it up here. Yeah.
No, I'm good. No more beer for me. Oh, what's that thing next to the camera?
What's that?
Another camera.
Another camera. That's the live camera, and the other one's the recording camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So this one's the live for the Ustream,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's the one that ends up on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Makes it simple.
Yeah.
That's the. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to show some to my grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excuse this, the cussing.
She don't care.
I don't think I was that bad this time. I'm the worst.
A few F-bombs, it's alright.
I don't know.
My
It's
s-
pretty bad too.
My grandma is 92, 93 now.
Oh, she doesn't care what she hears.
92. She lives in Long Island, stuck in a nursing home, but like we got her internet and the computer and Skype, and I can remote log into her computer and fix it. I Skype with her. I Skype with her
Yeah.
on the beach.
Yeah.
I was out striper fishing one night with Alex and Austin last year.
Phone rings.
No, like I was like, I'm gonna Skype with Nanny, and they're like, I'm like, hey guys, say hi, and they're just like, hi. Well, it's my grandma. They're like, oh hey, what's going on? I'm like, all right, well, I gotta
Oh,
go
have you guys caught any big stripers yet out of the surf? I mean, nobody knows where you're going if you are, so but we just want to know if you caught any big ones yet.
Alex has had a few decent ones, nothing super big.
I mean, decent like 38 or decent like.
Mid 30s, upper
Okay.
30s.
Okay.
It ain't like God, a couple years ago. Not like
Yeah.
last spring. Fuck.
Yeah.
That was retarded. That was a fluke.
Well, I mean, the spring is they're different fish in the spring anyway.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
you catch a 41 incher in the spring and catch them in the fall. It's
Different fish.
It's a
Really
completely
different
different fish,
fish.
man.
Oh,
They're,
yeah.
this time of year, they are just massive.
We
They're
really
hungry.
weren't. We really haven't. Well, I've been so damn busy with work. We've got a lot of stuff going on, so I haven't been targeting as much as I want to. We've caught a few, but nothing spectacular.
And you guys trout fish a lot.
Yes.
The weather is shitty this time of year, and it's way more convenient.
Yes.
the
Pretty much.
weather is just terrible. I mean, for surf
Right.
fishing, you can't go surf fishing right now because the swell is 6 foot.
Yeah.
The particular spot
Yeah.
that we trout fish, I actually have a few spots, and one I can't even take for some reason. My old boss, he doesn't want me bringing anybody. I don't know why, but on certain winds, and it doesn't matter. The wind it seems the rougher it is, the better for him. On certain winds, it pushes fish up onto this flat. So that's kind of what we're going with, and so we've found a few areas that most people are just like, oh, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There is,
Yeah.
but only on
Right.
certain winds and certain tides. So it's.
Dude, there's a couple guys. I work.
We've done our homework, much like you guys have with the
Exactly.
springtime stuff.
I work
and
sometimes out
everything
at
else.
like the Berkeley Yard, out there at Portlock.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and this is not nowhere near in the trout season, but like in the summer and in the spring, there's these guys. They come down there and fish like it's technically maybe private property, maybe not. I don't know. There's a bunch of industries around there. They post up right here on these rocks, man, and they catch their limit of puppy drum every time they go. But they're only there when I've never seen them out there and not have fish with them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So they know when to go, and there's these old black guys, and they're just, you know what I mean? They got their cooler, and they're gonna they got them in their cooler.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spots in Norfolk. I will say
Yeah,
that.
this is
That
South
are
Norfolk,
sketchy.
right at Berkeley. You know what I mean? There's
Oh,
so
no,
much
it's-
stuff in the water. I can't imagine. They're probably fishing with like Zebco 33s and like
It doesn't
80-pound mono. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, because there's just. I mean, I can see a couple of sunken boats like looking
The
from
spring-
where
the
I'm
spring and
at low
fall.
tide.
Before it gets super cold, the spring and the fall, structure for pups and specks. If you find structure with water
Oh
moving,
yeah.
Yeah.
you will find fish. But people don't realize that. Anyway,
Hello.
45.
He's gonna get on this one.
Park in front of Carol's house.
This is the Lee Hotline.
No. That's his
Not at all. Carol's second car is at the shop.
Am I blocking someone's parking spots?
Okay.
We're wrapping up.
I asked my girl, I was like, you gonna stay home and watch the podcast? She's like, no, I'm going out with friends. Have to wait for it to. Anyway, all right.
Yeah,
so,
it's better when it's on YouTube anyway.
and the last plug I'm gonna give is Carolina Cast Pro rods. I love them. They got a different feel than the Rain Shadow 1509s,
Right.
the CTS S7s. Alex is on the pro staff for CTS. Those rods are super light. They throw very well.
It's surf rods.
Surf rods, yeah. Well, the CTS makes a lot of different rods. Tommy Farmer only makes the surf rods right now.
Yeah.
My 9-foot plug-in rod that I use for striper is a CTS rod, and it's the lightest thing. It's almost as light as my trout rod, which is pretty phenomenal. They make a lot of good stuff. They're pricey, but if you want a good high-end rod, that's the way to go. The surf rods, I love the Cast Pros, the Tommy Farmers. He's got 10-footer, 2 11s, a couple 12s, some 13s, and stuff like that. And all the big fish I catch off the beach surf fishing is typically, you know, the Tommy. It's all Tommy Farmer. So.
And then Rodfather does any kind of customizing if you're here locally.
Pretty much anything.
Rod repairs, customization.
He does rod repairs. The rod repairs are outsourced. They don't do them in shop unless it's the simple tip. So, you know, be prepared to drop it off. You can't do guide wraps and guide replacements. You can't do that in the shop. You need a clean space and an environment to do that with. So, but
dude, there's some of the best wreck fishing tackle I've seen. If you're looking for like butter, what do they call them? The butter bean jig heads with the swivels.
Oh, he's got all
stuff
he's got
like that. All those like wreck bottom fishing stuff. They have awesome bottom fishing stuff out there.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I've told Rick about it several times because he loves those things for flounder fishing. He can't find the right size he wants. They've got them out there.
Oh yeah, and the last time I was up there, he had 4 gazillion green crabs. And now he's got 4 gazillion eels. I don't know where he gets them from. He's like sends me a text like, "Hey, post on Facebook. I got green crabs," and like sends me a picture. And it's just like, "What the hell? Where are you getting these from?" Whatever. I don't ask questions.
Cool.
Anyway.
All right, cool. We'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys. Thanks to yakattack.us, and my DVDs are at kayakkevin.com. Later.
Have a good one.